Best weather day we've had in a long, long time. So happy to be here. My name's Chuck Burge. This is Three Guys Who Love Sports. Show to support guys that are going through mental and physical issues. And if we can help them through what they're going through for an hour a week, and you help somebody and they help somebody, everybody does a little, nobody has to do a lot. So happy to be here again, Chuck Burge, with my co-host, Mr. Robert Kennedy. Robert, how are you, buddy?
I'm doing well, sir.
Awesome. We got.
You were talking about how beautiful the weather was. I think when I pulled into the parking lot, they were getting ready to redo the song, "Loving You."
Minnie Riperton.
Because all I could hear was tweet, tweet, tweet.
That's a kind of a pretty weather song, yeah. We got Larry, the engineer, and Adam, that used to be intern with us today. And we're here at Miller's Ale House. And guess what, Robert? I'm back to Mimi's.
Chuck, you never left Mimi, okay? You know, when you get a dessert, it really doesn't count as not getting Mimi. You just decided to go for dessert.
So it's still a streak?
Yeah, it's still a streak.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I'll stick
you
with
go
it.
with like Big Red or something different. I'd say you're pretty close to
Okay.
still
So you
being
did cheeseburger?
I did a cheeseburger.
Larry, what did you do?
I did a cheeseburger as well.
I have a hamburger too. Chuck!
You know, I can't do burgers. That's red meat is not on my menu. So
Red meat is not on my menu.
gout.
I know it is on my menu.
It's a gout thing. So
Okay.
yeah, I can't.
I was just scooting away from you.
No. I love steak. I love burgers, but this just don't treat me well. All right. So always happy to be here at Miller's Ale House, and still working on our third year. It's hard to believe. Ran into Mark Buccini, found out Mark's general manager here, and he lives in my neighborhood. We found out this week. So I'll pass by his house every day and just didn't know we lived on the same street.
It couldn't have been easy for him to avoid you for this long. Like every time he sees your car, Chuck again.
There you go.
Let me check the mail.
All right.
I've got something here. I don't know what it was.
I'm sure that strained Mark's brain, so we'll go ahead and get the Brain Train commercial out of the way.
Hey, it's Melissa at Brain Train Centers, the fastest growing neurofeedback provider in the world, and I have some pretty important questions for you. Do you or someone you know struggle with focus and attention, sleep, memory, or other mood issues? Or maybe you just want to achieve more in high-pressure situations? Well, what if I told you you can unlock your brain's full potential and change your life entirely through neurofeedback? A drug-free and natural approach to negative moods, and it's backed by more than 50 years of research, so it's not new. It is safe for both children and adults as you retrain the brain to create new pathways. Medication may help short-term, but they don't address the underlying issues. Just as push-ups help your physical strength, neurofeedback is personal training for your brain. With over 20 offices nationwide, don't hesitate to reach out to Brain Train Centers, as we will provide you with the highest level of compassionate care and help you achieve the mental clarity, performance, and calm you deserve. Your journey to a better quality of life starts with a brain map. Now you can retrain your brain and reset your life. So just call or text 470-291-2778 or visit BrainTrainCentersInc.com.
Melissa and Meg for being sponsors of the Three Guys Who Love Sports, and very excited to welcome back our good friend, Mr. Ian King. Ian, how are you, buddy?
I am doing fantastic.
The board is sleeping over here. They're there. There's the crowd. They had the crowd mic turned down for a second.
Have they had to staple some more pages in your passport? Because I know of at least 3 European countries, and I'm guessing there was another one in between some of those this year.
No, that was it.
It was just France, Italy, and Ireland.
Paris, Italy, France.
You know, I mean, there's still 3 months left, 4 months left.
And
so.
I know we're a
that's it
week
for the year.
I know we're a week removed from the game, but how much fun was that?
The game was phenomenal. It was a sea of red and red and gold in there. Yeah, the Scarlet looks a lot more red in person than it does on TV. It does. But it was definitely a sea of scarlet and gold, you know, at the bars before the game, during the game. You know, at the airport, at the rental car place, there was a lot of Florida State folks there that were very brokenhearted, and it was so great to just soak up those tears.
So how many minutes into the game were you sick of the war chant? Because it nauseates me just every time they play it.
It's always just like first quarter in, then you're just over it. And it's like, well, they can keep doing it, but I know how this is going to end up. And sure enough, it ended up how I thought it would.
Well, it was a fabulous game.
Those types of games are fun no matter what when it's a destination game, but there's nothing like winning that game, because that winning, the people who wore scarlet and garnet, I believe, or however
Garnet and gold.
Garnet and gold.
Yeah.
Garnet and gold. They'll talk happily one day about a great trip that they made, but it's not a happy trip. So I'm just so happy that it was for you.
And their bad trip continued this week, but we'll get into that a little bit in college football. But, man, what a great trip that must have been.
Oh, yeah, it's phenomenal. Just being able to see football over there where, a land where there's not really any football. Like, Ireland's a very, very particular country because, they have their own games. They have hurling. They have girls hurling, which is called camogie, and Gaelic football, which is essentially rugby with a soccer ball. And so,
right.
They are very entrenched in their sports. And so to bring football over there, football is starting to take off because people are, they like the physical aspect of football over in Ireland because, Ireland likes to get physical at times.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you go by the
Seamus and Mirth like to,
Seamus
headbutt
picked
each
the
other.
jackets. He was the only one on the side that picked the jackets. Did you go by the game day set?
We did not. We were there early in the morning before that they actually set, before everything got rocking and rolling. But going from the game day set where it was
like a mile and a half from the stadium.
Yeah, it was a mile and a half. It was an endeavor if you were going to go to the game day set and then go down to the stadium. For us, having done a tour that morning,
Just wasn't worth it.
yeah, it just wasn't worth it. I knew what we were going to get
You didn't
into.
want to see Pat McAfee rip off his shirt?
It turns out he probably still has.
Nobody wants to see Pat McAfee rip off his shirt.
Amen to that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a sickening sight. Well, cool. We're glad you had a good time. We wanted to have you on and talk a little bit about that. Obviously, a lot of stuff going on in the sports world. We wrapped up the FedEx Cup this week. Scotty Scheffler ran away with it.
Thank goodness.
Yeah. And who was your pick? That was Hideki Matsuyama, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Scheffler was an easy pick.
But the right guy won.
Yeah, Scheffler was an easy pick. Yeah.
Well, and we talked about it last week. Even if Scheffler didn't win that tournament, he was still player of the year.
Yeah.
So that's the good thing. There's no question about it. But just like NASCAR, it's a boring finish. You spaced everybody out and you gave the world's greatest player a freaking massive lead. So,
Well, Morikawa got within 9 to go? So it got tight for a second when Scotty, what do you call it? Shanked that club out of the green, out of the sand trap on the 8th hole. And the course looked so different than what it was before. 9, they moved the green. 8 used to be a very hard par 4. Now it's a drivable par 4. And 9, they moved the green like 50 yards to the left and made it where the water is slightly in play. I don't think it really is. I don't think anybody hits short and roll back in the water like you do on 13 at the Masters. But
12.
on 12, yes, thank you. But it was really a really fun course to see, new, because 14 used to be a hard par 4. Now it was an easy par 5. It was the easiest hole on the course.
Well, 14 was Adam's favorite hole because I was driving up the road listening to Adam's our intern show.
Did you hear what?
Yeah, I listened
You
to the whole
did?
thing, and then they were like, "Adam Crooks, what do you think?" And he's like, "I think 14. I think what they've done there, the guys like, whoa, look at Adam." Yeah, it was funny.
On
But
Sunday morning?
yeah, I was listening
What
to
do you
it.
think people...
Thank you.
Do you not think people are awake on Sunday morning?
No, I just didn't think he was listening to it.
I did, and it is it's a fun tournament. But when they were talking about it, it's interesting when you think about a course that originally it's 100 years old and probably was a 6,300 yard course, and how many times. It gets changed over the years. There's always a new architect. There's always a new design, something new to implement. So
Well, it's really wild
cool.
now.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. You can tell that the greens, little bits of dust pop up when the ball hits on the green now,
Right.
but which it won't after it matures. But very, very different course than what it was the year before. Ian, you ever been down to East Lake?
I have not. I was tempted to go a couple of years ago, and I just did not make myself, get down there. And to go down there and see the action would be fantastic. After going to the Masters and seeing the practice round, going to East Lake would be just a treat to get down there.
It's fun to go. Steve Pearson, who we started the show for, Steve is my buddy with prostate cancer. He used to get VIP passes because ING or Voya was a sponsor, and he had clients that gave him tickets all the time. We used to go. Keith went, actually, Arroyo went Thursday, but I haven't been in years. Fun course to go down to.
How about the gala?
Yeah,
Saeed
Saeed had a really good Sunday, didn't he?
Well, I
Oh,
was,
you talking about the penalty?
I'm
He called
talking
on
about the
himself on
penalty.
Saturday.
And, how cool is that, though? When they're talking about it, and I was, once again, listening to the show riding down the
Listening
road.
to the golf show.
And on 680. And it's one of those things,
It's a gentleman's game.
And you don't know, and I'm driving down the road yelling at the radio because they're not saying what I want to say. And then finally the guy's like, but you never know if there's an angle that's going to show it. So you don't want to not call it and then see the angle where everybody knows you didn't. So, what a cool game where you can cause yourself a one-stroke penalty and automatically have respect for the rest of your career.
Yeah.
It's the only sport like that.
I would agree with that. Yeah, I would agree with that. And kudos to him for doing it.
Absolutely.
And I think it was a 2-stroke penalty, wasn't it?
It was 2.
Yeah. But, and he still came back and shot like 7 or 8 under for the day. Great round by Tagala. Yeah, phenomenal. He gained my respect by doing it.
Even if you're not into golf and you're like, that dude did what? He's either a moron or the guy who you want holding the money during a bet. Okay, that guy can hold
I'm
on
going to go with
it.
him holding my money during
Yeah.
the bet. I don't want to call anybody more. I think very classy move by Saeed.
Very classy.
Yeah. All right. Well, we got a lot of football to talk about today, so we're going to get into our commercials a little bit earlier than normal. Adam, if you would, please.
Making preparations for when you're not around anymore is not easy. Nobody likes to think about their own mortality, and I'm sure we can talk about this next week. Doesn't always fit into the big schedule picture, and that's why you should contact our friend Ron Smith at Senior Living Insurance. Whether you're being buried or cremated, costs keep going up, but you can lock in a price today and take off this final expense off your to-do list. Do your loved ones a favor and take care of your final expense so that when your time does come, they won't have to worry about it. If you're age 1 to 85, they have a plan ready for you. So please contact Ron and his team at 440-561-0758.
Thank you, Ron Smith, for being the sponsor. Robert.
That's a hard one to follow.
Yes.
There are a lot of places to get your oil changed in the Kennesaw area, but if you're looking for a personal experience, then stop in at Castro Kennesaw Express Lube or Lost Mountain Express Lube. We'll always do our best to get you in and out quickly, safely, and without a whole lot of fuss. We're a true owner-operated business where you'll find Brian under a car or a hood at one of the shops. We offer experienced, knowledgeable technicians and the latest computer software to help you maintain your new car warranty and keep your pride and joy running for the next 100,000 miles. We proudly offer Castrol products.
Thank you, Brian and Ron, for both being sponsors. One of those was very smooth. One of these is
Can
not
I
like
get the
other.
brain train commercial next time?
Hey,
That might be the easiest.
And just for the record, I did go see Lost Mountain Express Lube yesterday. I need to get my oil change. No, I'm sorry, my tires rotated, which is not something that they do on a regular basis. But they popped out in the parking lot, a couple jacks, went at it. So
Good people.
Thank you again.
Was Brian over there, or was he at
He was
Kennesaw?
not. He was not.
All right, cool.
There was only 2 guys, and both of them helped me. So.
All right. That's funny. All right, so we're into college football, full tilt now. We're completed the official
A week and a half.
one. Yeah. So what was most impressive to you this weekend, Robert?
I'd say Notre Dame. And I'm an old Notre Dame homer that I've pretty much shunned them over the last however many years. So I don't feel like I'm making a homer comment with that. But, USC and Notre Dame, they're the ones who played the big games, and they came up with wins. And when you look at this 12-team playoff, Notre Dame can never be a top 4.
No.
And if you're already pigeonholing yourself just for 5 through 11, man, they had a great first week.
You know who else did? I think he left. It was Penn State. I think Penn State played very well at West Virginia.
They'd be third on my list.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. And I'm with you, Robert. Notre Dame looked fantastic. The way that they dominated that game, whistle to whistle.
To win at Cal Field is something else, too, playing in front of the 12th man. That's a tough place to play football.
Absolutely.
On a Saturday night. That was a night game, too, right?
Yep.
So kudos to Notre Dame. The little quarterback from Duke, Riley Leonard, is that his
Yes.
name? Played really, really well and spoke so well after the game. I don't know if you saw the post-game interview or not, but he's like, this is not about me. This is about this team. About the offensive line. The offensive line had 6 starts combined before the start of that game.
So that's not very good.
No.
That's not very many.
But they played very, very well.
I wonder if the quarterback's speaking so well just means he's getting blocked for.
It could be.
At the end of the year, he might be like, I don't know. I eat Burger King.
Yeah. Hey, you never know. You never know. But the Texas A&M, they were ranked too, right? They were 13th or
Yes.
something like that.
Yeah.
So Notre Dame.
They were 20th.
20th. So they made great strides in one game. I was very, very impressed with Notre Dame. I'm assuming you watched Penn State game even through the 2-hour rain delay?
So I was not able to watch the Penn State game, but I was able to watch all the highlights.
Oh, so you didn't record it or anything?
After I got back.
Yeah.
But as I was checking the phone and tracking all the progress on the game, because it was 5 o'clock over there for the noon kickoff, just seeing how they were able to move the ball on the road at West
Allen's
Virginia.
played really well, too.
He did. Drew Aller is going to be a fantastic college quarterback. I'm very excited to see what this year holds and next year as well, because I don't see him staying at Penn State past next year.
Oh, really?
Yeah, really. I think that that quarterback class, he's going to be one of the top prospects in that class.
Oh, you don't think he's going to transfer? He's going to move on to the
Move
pros.
up to the pros, and he's going to
Play on Sundays.
play on Sundays.
Yeah. And the running back, what's his name, Singleton or
Nick Singleton.
Singleton? Yeah.
He's also an animal. He's probably the best running back Penn State has had since
He's a
Saquon.
sophomore, right?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
And the way that he hits the hole, it's reminiscent of Miles Sanders back there, and yet when he gets the ball in the open field on the pass, he's reminiscent of Saquon Barkley, and so he's a great running back talent. There's
a lot of reminiscing going on over here.
There is. Yeah, just only one bad loss to Pitt short of going to the playoffs. So yeah, that's a lot of reminiscing
That's
over
true.
here.
Yeah. Well, we can't get out of Saturday without talking about the biggest devastation in college football this year.
Put your money on Billy Napier to be the first coach to be fired.
No, I was talking about FSU.
That was Monday.
I said this weekend. It was
Labor
Labor
Day
Day.
weekend.
What's it called? Labor Day weekend. So Labor Day is still the weekend.
Let's just say that both of those Floridian schools are not looking very happy right now.
Well, what cracks me up is the first game day they had when they were in Ireland. They all made picks to who's going to win the ACC. There were 3 schools that were picked. Do you know the 3?
I'm sure it's Clemson, FSU, and
Miami.
And somebody
wasn't.
else that got
Louisville?
Somebody else that got beat.
Right.
Virginia Tech.
Vatek.
So,
Vandy.
so we know as much as anybody on the game day said. That's my whole point.
And then some.
Vandy looked pretty good when they played Vatek. I watched it. They were up 17-0 at the half.
Running the triple option.
Diego Pavia.
Yeah, the quarterback from New Mexico State. Is that where he came from?
There's a fine line in college football after week 1. We're really not sure how good Vanderbilt looked, but we know, I heard somebody else say it, and I'll just regurgitate the same thought. When a middle to top tier ACC team
Gets beat
loses to the one team that nobody loses to, it's not a good sign.
No, but
And when you add Clemson and FSU to that list,
but let's also put Florida in that list because Miami cleaned their clocks.
And the best part of the Florida-Miami loss is all the Florida recruits sitting by the Miami tunnel.
that they were talking to.
Yes.
How poor of a job does that athletic director get? A score for F- for putting your possible future recruits right next to where all the Miami players are going. Dude, you need to come down here.
Come
This
to
place,
you.
man. This place. Yeah, I mean, and they were hammering them. They were hammering those guys. So
Yeah,
it's pretty good.
And, Adam called it right. Cam Ward looked really good
Yes, Cam Ward looked fantastic.
Yeah, I didn't think he would be that, but he was. Again, it's like a Georgia Tech. I don't know if Tech's that good. I wouldn't take Tech this week laying the 3 against
Syracuse.
I just don't know. I just don't
Kyle
know.
McCord didn't look.
Did not look good.
They played Miami of Ohio.
Yeah, they did not look good.
But Tech, they were so sloppy this Saturday compared to what they were. No penalties in Ireland.
They did not look good in that first half.
No, they did not, and not great in the second half. They made the same penalties, same crappy penalties.
But there's certain games. There's certain games that are tough, and they're playing the little itty bitty local possible future rival who came into that game saying, this is our Super Bowl. When we beat Georgia Tech, Georgia State's on the map. This is so although they did not play a great game, it's a different game when you're getting, that's probably Georgia State's best shot of the year for anybody.
Oh, it's a game Tech could have easily folded on, just like they did Bowling Green last year when they got beat by Bowling Green.
Just like Colorado did this week.
Yeah.
They won, though.
Yeah, they did win.
They were 4 yards away from losing, though.
But it was interesting. Have you seen enough, Robert, after 1 week to make your 12-team prediction for the playoffs?
I can make predictions whether I see anything, so that's never been a problem.
Okay.
But, I'll give one more shout-out for a horrible team, or for somebody who looked horrible this week. That's Oregon.
Yeah,
they're playing the Vandals.
I watched the highlights. The score was not indicative of how bad they beat Oregon. I mean, they only won by 10.
Correct. When you look at what's his name, Gabriel.
Dylan Gabriel.
He completed 84% of his passes for 380 yards. So you
would have thought they won a 63-0.
You would think, but they better wake up quick. That's their last shot against Idaho,
the Vandals, exactly. Yeah. All right, well, let's get into our 12-team playoff picks. I at number 12, I put a team that I watched play Saturday, and they played Georgia Southern. And a guy named Genty ran for 6 touchdowns and 294 yards. So I'm going to put Boise State at my 12th spot.
Already got them penciled in, and I brought that up on the show a week ago. Is this a team that doesn't want to get in any of those other conferences because they could almost have that 12th spot, exclusively?
I think they look good. They look good. I mean, when you put up that kind of offense, and at Georgia Southern, to their credit, came back and took the lead, 37-36 or something like that, and then just. They hand the ball to Genty, and he runs for another 75 yards, and he runs for another 60 yards.
He might be the best running back in the country this year.
Yeah, he might be.
I also have Boise State.
At 12?
It was kind of between Boise State and Memphis. A lot of people have hyped up South Florida this year. I'm not a South Florida guy. I'll take Boise State.
Really? With that complexion, I would have sworn that you lived in Boca.
How about you, Ian?
I tell you, with the number 12, I'm looking. So the way I was looking at the college football playoff, I'm looking at the numbers, and I'm looking at how the preseason rankings were this past weekend. I'm looking at it this way: that the ACC is going to get 2 teams in. It's going to be Miami and Notre Dame. I'm counting Notre Dame as an ACC school, even though that they're not eligible to win the title. But playing 5 ACC schools in a given year, you're close to.
They're pretty darn. They're
as
close to being ACC as you could possibly be.
Absolutely, yeah.
Big Ten, I think, is going to get 4 teams in. Those teams are going to be OSU, USC, Penn State, and despite how bad that they look this weekend, Oregon. SEC, I have UGA winning the SEC. Ole Miss is going to be the next pick out of the SEC. They're just such a strong team. They're coming back. The way that they look this past weekend, I don't see them slowing down unless they have injuries throughout the course of the year. Texas is going to be the crossover coming over that's going to be able to do well this year and be able to squeak in. And there's a potential for Tennessee getting in
So
there.
you don't have Alabama in there?
I don't have Alabama in the top 12 because I think with
Alabama looked really. I mean, I know it's Western
so
Kentucky.
Good.
The Red
I
Blobs.
know it's Western Kentucky, but they look like they
didn't
look
miss a beat.
Exactly.
But now tell me this: in your math, you've got. Oh no, never mind. You're good. Your second ACC school was
Notre Dame.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So I have Boise State at 12. At 11, I have Ole Miss. At 10, I have Kansas State because I think the Big 12 are going to get 2 teams in. And I toyed with Kansas there, and I even toyed with Georgia Tech at 11. I mean, just for poots and giggles, but I couldn't do it. I'd love to see them there, but I mean, we'll see what happens this week after they play Syracuse, right? So at 9, I have Texas. At 8, I have Penn State. At 7, I have Ohio State. At 6, I have Notre Dame. And at 5, I have Georgia. My 4 buys are number 4, Utah. Number 3, Miami. Number 2, Oregon. And number 1, I have Alabama. They impressed me so much on Saturday. Play that violin, baby.
You're making it sound so sweet. Those people over in Tuscaloosa love you.
I'm sure they do.
You're getting a birthday card for sure.
That would be fine. But so I think it's going to be very interesting to see. But that's the way it fell for me. Like I said, I'd love to see Tech. I don't believe Tech's the 23rd best team in the country. They just played 2 teams that aren't any good. And we'll see what happens when they play Syracuse. Like I said, I would never take Tech laying the 3 this week. So.
Oh yeah,
But
they're gonna take the Orangeman behind the shed.
yeah.
So who were your 4 that you have 1, 2, 3, and 4?
So 1, 2, 3, and 4. I have UGA at number 1. Ohio State at number 2. As much as it pains me to say those top 2. Utah at number 3 and Miami at number 4. That's my top 4.
So we miss. I have Oregon and you have Ohio State, and I have Alabama and you have Georgia.
My top 4 are Ohio State, Georgia, Utah, and Miami.
So same 4 as
Same 4.
same for you too.
Yeah.
And then it gets real interesting. We were talking about it on the show a while back. What does the ACC have to do to get that second team in, or the Big 12 have to do to get that second team in? I don't see that happening after that Notre Dame game. I think they're going to get one of those spots. So
I think too.
I think it's going to really limit what happens, and then the war of attrition. Right now it's easy to say Bama, Ole Miss, Texas, and Georgia, are gonna show up to the party. But well, it's a long season. LSU's gonna win a game or 2 before it's all said and done. So it's gonna be fun though.
It is. It's going to make for an interesting year. And again, we talk about this on the show every week during college football. The polls mean nothing till the 1st of October. Then I'll worry about the polls.
And now tell me this: what do you think it would take to have Boise State, being that undefeated number 12 team, to not be 12?
I mean,
Because they don't
I
have
think
to be. They could be 9.
I think it's possible. I don't know their schedule off the top of my head.
They play Oregon this week.
I think I know that
they're really good.
but I think that they will compete in every game this year. I think they have a shot to go probably 11-1.
Correct. It's just one of those things where I think I know myself. I've automatically got that team from the lesser 5 automatically in that 12 spot.
Yeah.
But if they won this game against Oregon and stuff, all of a sudden that number 12 team they could be number 9.
They're Mountain West, right? Boise
Yes,
State.
they're Mountain West.
So if they win that division, they're in, right?
No.
I thought it was the top 5.
It is the top group of 5 team, but it's
But if they're rated higher than
the
let's say
other
like a Miami,
than the other
then
group
they would
of
get in. Not in
yes.
the 1 through 4 spot, but they would get in.
If they are the highest group of 5 team, they get in, and if they're higher than UGA, Ohio State, Miami, or Utah, then they're a top 4 seed.
Okay. If they are rated higher.
That will never
Yes,
happen.
they won't happen,
but
You
yeah.
guys
They won't-
just
that
save
won't
your
happen,
oxygen.
but
they
this
will
year.
never, ever, ever vote that. Never, ever.
No. But I firmly believe that they will get in.
Yes.
I mean, that's my one pick that that's
I
off
mean,
the chart. Well, of course, Adam says he's got him too, and you too, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
And right now they look like the best team for that spot. But once again, there's 65 teams vying for that spot, so it's a long season.
Yes.
See what happens.
It is. Well, speaking of picks, we made picks last week, and Robert, you and I both went 2 and 3. Our guests went 2 and 3. And I hate to say that Mr. Crooks went 4-1.
I don't hate to say it at all because, if ever there's somebody who needs to toot his own horn occasionally, it's Adam. And this
he
allows,
never does that.
No,
Yeah.
he doesn't.
4-1.
And it's going to be fun watching.
That gives me the lead, right?
The wreck of the
After
Edmund
week
Fitzgerald
one, yes.
for the rest of the
2-game
season.
lead, yeah.
Hey, do you know what they call the lake?
The lake they call Gitchy Goomy.
That's the one.
Yeah.
That's the one.
I
That's
know
the one
that
where
song.
you'll be.
I know that song.
But anyway, when it looks at when I looked at everything else, USC playing Boise State, I got Texas, Ole Miss, I got all 4 SEC teams making it to the Final 8.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I just picked the 12. I didn't pick any.
I went ahead and did the matchups for 5 through 12, just how I thought it would pan out.
I did too. I just didn't pick anything beyond the 12.
I gotcha.
Yeah. Like I got Boise State and UGA, Texas and Penn State, Ole Miss and Notre Dame, and Kansas State and Ohio State. Yeah.
So, looking at the schedule for the year, knowing this matchup coming up this weekend, like Tennessee, for example, I think Tennessee has a very strong chance of getting upset by NC State since it's a neutral site game. And NC State
Man is
that in
making
Charlotte?
the ACC Kool-Aid.
Listen, NC State is normally a underrated team.
They are.
They come out. They are normally in the top 3 for draft picks each year from the NFL for the ACC. However, though, I would say that this weekend Tennessee does have a chance to be upset, and it could ruin Tennessee's season. Even though that I think Tennessee can go and pretty much run in the SEC East, that is no longer the SEC East, and have a good run this year. I think this is a trap game for Tennessee this coming weekend. And if Tennessee does get upset, it's going to be only 3 SEC teams getting to the playoffs.
Who do I have? I only have 3 SEC teams. I have Georgia, Texas, Alabama. I have 3 Big Ten teams: Ohio State, Oregon, and Penn State. And then I went Notre Dame at 8. I went a second ACC team. I went Louisville because Louisville's going to go like 11-1 this year or 12-0. Other than Notre Dame, they don't have to play anybody all year.
Georgia Tech.
They're not going to lose to Georgia Tech.
Well,
and they were the one SEC team. They were the one ACC team other than Miami that impressed me this week.
And I'm not telling you that an undefeated team's not getting in, but at the end of the day, know that committee is looking for the 12 best teams. And if they think that you went through a lollygagging schedule that missed every big speed bump, I think they're going to get caught out on that.
I think they would pick a 1-loss Louisville over a 3-loss Ole Miss.
All right. As much as I
Possibly.
love this college football talk, we got to move on because we got a lot more show
college
to get to.
football?
We got more show. We got games to pick. So Texas -7 at Michigan. This is a tough game to pick. So Ian, who you got?
I got Michigan winning the game. I don't think it's going to be as one-sided as we actually believe. With Texas running away with it, as good as Texas looked this past weekend, I think Michigan playing at home is going to carry some weight.
They still got a great defensive front.
They do, and
Yeah.
I think Michigan's going to be able to pull it out very narrowly by the skin of their teeth, and I think Michigan's going to be able to pull it out.
I don't think Michigan's going to win,
24-21.
but I think they'll cover.
I agree. I think Alex Orji didn't look good for Michigan this week. Quinn Ewers looked fantastic. Texas played Colorado State. Isaiah Bond looked good for Texas. I think Texas wins the game, but I don't think they win by 7.
I love it when people are all betting on those points. I don't think my team's going to win, but man, they're gonna lose
That's
just
what
by
the
a little
tub's
bit.
all about, Robert. That's how I live.
I'm taking Texas. I saw something this week that said they were so good because Arch Manning did such a good job. And then I looked at that person. I was like, he doesn't play yet, right?
Yeah.
That hasn't happened, but
All right.
Texas is good.
All right, so this is for Rick Limpert. Rick, we got Iowa State getting 2.5 at Iowa. Iowa actually scored 40 points this week.
I don't think either of these teams are going to score 2.5 points.
I agree.
I'm going with the Cyclones.
Robert goes with the Cyclones.
That's the wrong person. So when you're
Well, he did too. You said the Cyclones.
No, I'm going with Iowa.
Okay.
I the Iowa receivers caught more touchdown passes last week
Than
than
the
they
last
did
3 seasons
than they did
combined.
all year last year. I like the Hawkeyes. Cade McNamara is a good quarterback. He wasn't great in the spring game or the fall scrimmage, but he looked good this week. I'll go with the Hawkeyes.
All right, I'll take the Cyclones too. Ian.
Winning this Cyhawk trophy, I have the Hawkeyes winning the trophy.
All right.
So this is going to be a runaway with. I shouldn't say a runaway entirely, but this is going to be an Iowa win where they win by 10.
All right, back to you. Tennessee minus 7.5. You're going to take.
Chuck, you should be using the axe.
Oh, thank you. Other end.
damn it, Larry, shut up. Oh wait, good point, Larry.
So Iowa State, Tennessee, and North Carolina State. You said earlier you think NC State's going to win.
So listen, I am putting Tennessee on upset alert. However, I think given the circumstances with the neutral site, now look, watch me flip flop. We are almost.
You
in
have
political
already flip
season.
flopped. Just finish it.
With being in this season, Tennessee getting 7.5. I think Tennessee is going to win the game, but they are not
no,
going to cover the
Tennessee's
points.
laying 7.5.
Correct. Tennessee's
Yeah.
favored by 7.5.
Yeah, they are favored by 7.5. I think that they are going to win, but it's not going to be by 7.5.
So you'll take NC State.
We got somebody else who's gonna lose, but not by that many.
I'm on the same page. NC State plus the 7.5.
Grayson McCall did not look good this week against Western Carolina.
They looked awful.
They looked terrible. I can't say the Tennessee quarterback's name yet. I will learn it this week. I know I'm disappointed in myself that I haven't learned the Tennessee quarterback's name either. Squirrel White is a fantastic receiver. As all of you people look up the Tennessee quarterback's name.
I'm Oliva.
Oliva.
No,
Yeah.
it's
That's the
there's
monkeys. I'm a believer.
it's more than that. There's more syllables than that. Squirrel White looked fantastic against Chattanooga. He's one of my favorite receivers in the country. I'm gonna take the Volunteers.
All right. Robert, how about you?
Yeah, I think Grayson McCall, I love that whole Coastal Carolina thing. I've been watching him. There's no way after the trouble they had with Western Carolina, or no, it was
Western Carolina.
Western Carolina. They're not even going to be in this game. This is at least a 3-touchdown game. This was the ACC's last hope to get that second team in, and I think they showed last week that there will not be 2 teams from
All
the
right,
ACC.
we got to move. We got so much to do. To Colorado plus 7.5.
So
Nebraska.
much time.
I wouldn't take Colorado if Nebraska were favored by 15.
I'm not.
Colorado has the 2 best players in the country. Shedeur Sanders and Travis Hunter are undoubtedly the best players in the country. Dylan Raiola looked fantastic this week against UTEP. Colorado stinks. They're terrible. They should fire Dion. Give me Nebraska.
I'm with the Huskers too. Robert?
I've got a friend who's a Nebraska fan, and he hasn't been happy since I knew him.
Yeah.
So I'm not going with Nebraska on this one. I'll take Mr. Sanders.
Ian, how about you?
Give me Nebraska in this rekindling of the Big 12 matchup. This is going to be an old rivalry renewed, and Nebraska's going to run away with this one late.
All right, last college game. Boise State plus 19.5 at Oregon.
Oregon's offense looked torrid this week.
Wait. Didn't he just say the quarterback threw for 390 yards?
Yes, but they only scored 24 points.
Yeah.
I thought he said torrid. I was like,
I did say torrid.
That's not the right word, but continue.
They only scored 24 points. They did not look good against Idaho. I love the Kibbe Dome. Side note,
I love the Vandals.
Idaho's home field is fantastic. Give me the Broncos.
Boise State. Out, Robert.
Boise State. Oh, man.
And Boise State?
With the points, I'm taking Boise State on the points, but I'm taking Oregon to win the game.
Yep. I think Oregon bounced back. I'm going to take the Ducks.
I'm going to take the Ducks as well. I think they got that out of the way, and it'll probably be a lot of points this week.
All right. Let's move on to Joshua Smith. We got a commercial. We got so much pro football we got to get to. We got 20
Joshua
minutes.
Smith and his wife Tammy are both graduates of Kennesaw State College. He's been practicing law for 24 years, specializing in sports and entertainment law while continuing in criminal defense, civil litigation, juvenile, and personal injury law. And he's ready to represent you all the way from your small town to the Supreme Court and any appellate court in between. With all the new rules regarding NIL and cash payments to athletes, they are placing a new emphasis on Kennesaw State University student athletics to help our student athletes better navigate some of the bigger issues that have tripped up so many. Give them a call tomorrow at 706-217-2095.
Thank you, Joshua Smith, being a sponsor of the Three Guys Who Love Sports here at Miller's Ale House every Wednesday, but never a Wednesday like this. It's beautiful. We got a lot more football to get to. The last division we're going to talk about in the NFL is the NFC South. So let's talk Falcons. Falcons found out that Kyle Pitts has a pulled hamstring, may not play Sunday. Man, I don't know. But I like what the Falcons have done. I like what they've done on the defensive side. So I'm a Falcons fan. What can I say?
You're a homer. It's okay. You know, all of your years that you were a homer and they stunk, this is the year you don't jump off the wagon. They're finally going to be decent for a few years. So, yeah, they look good. Hopefully Kyle Pitts is not, going to be missing very long. You know, one of the most interesting players, I think, on the team this year is going to be Darnell Mooney.
Yeah.
Cousins can only throw so many balls to London and Pitts. Somebody else has to catch 70 of them. And, he could have a really big year.
And to some to Bijan, too.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. I think the Falcons, it's going to be a neck-and-neck race between them and the Buccaneers this year.
Yep.
I think the Falcons have improved vastly, with their draft choices, despite how much we're, in dismay of them at draft season and back in April. I think that, picking up Penix to have an insurance policy on Cousins, having Cousins there, Cousins is going to do a phenomenal job here with the Falcons. He's going to lead them to where they need to be with the NFC South title. So,
Adam, you got any Falcon comments?
Yeah. I like the defense, the additions they have, Matthew Judon, Justin Simmons. They have A.J. Terrell on the edge.
On a big contract.
I don't love their depth in the secondary behind A.J. Terrell. That would be my only concern if you face a team that really airs it out.
Are you talking about on the corner?
I think, yes.
well, the
I
secondary
think you
always
might.
been an issue with the Falcons.
Great safeties.
Great safeties. But your man-to-man guys
Fifth
on
guy's
the edge.
Clark Phillips, is he the opposite cornerback?
No, he's not the opposite cornerback.
Is he
I think
the
he's the
nickel guy?
slot.
Yeah.
I think he's the slot. I don't know who their opposite cornerback is. That would be my only concern.
All right. Carolina Panthers. Are they going to win 5 games this year?
No.
Yeah.
You know, they went out, they drafted a running back, they drafted a wide receiver. They keep doing but man, that's a horrible roster. So
They didn't. Yeah. I mean, they got a new coach who's kind of like the quarterback whisperer, they say. He trained Geno Smith and Baker Mayfield, but I don't think he's the answer.
I'll say this. When Tua came out, I thought Tua was going to break every record his rookie year and just dominate football until he retired. And I was blown away when he didn't. He started coming around. Maybe this is his year, but he still just doesn't have anything around him to make it easy.
Yeah. You mean Bryce?
Yeah.
Bryce Young.
Not Tua?
No, they both came out of Alabama, and one of them had his bad year, and both of them had bad rookie years.
Yes.
Tua has progressed.
Carolina, Ian.
Carolina, they have a lot of pieces to put together. You have bad ownership there. You have ownership that is just not leading by example. And quite frankly, it's hard to get behind when you're a player, a fan, or anybody in general. They're going to struggle until Tupper sells that team. And it's going to continue to be an issue, and they're the new Washington Redskins, or I should say Washington Commanders.
All right, New Orleans Saints.
I didn't get to comment on.
Sorry.
They have my favorite receiver in the NFL.
What's his
Deontay
name?
Johnson?
Xavier Leggett.
Oh, Xavier Leggett, yeah.
I put Cetaphil on every day.
Dabba-dabba-dabba-doo.
I love
Thank you, Fred
Xavier
Flintstone.
Leggett.
All right, so New Orleans Saints, good defense, Dennis Allen and the coach. Those are my comments.
Kamara, when Kamara's unbelievable, that's a great team. He's definitely taken a step back the last couple of years, so I would put just about all of their hopes and dreams. I think you know what you're going to get with Carr. I think Olave is a real deal. Defense isn't bad, but it's going to start and end with what Kamara is able to do.
Yep.
Yeah. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Kamara is going to be the piece that puts the puzzle together for them. If Kamara has a great year, they can win the NFC South.
Who's their backup? Is it Kendra Miller's their backup running back, right?
Correct.
And Jamal Williams. And so,
They do have Jamal Williams.
Yeah.
And so, it's really going to come down to Kamara. And if Kamara does not have the year that he had the year
3
2
years ago.
Yeah, 3 years ago,
3
right?
years ago now, we're going to, the Saints are going to be in trouble. But they can be the team that wins the NFC South, or they can be the team that ends up in third place.
Yep. And Tampa Bay has done nothing to move forward. They brought back everybody they needed to bring back, but they haven't done anything to move forward. But they are the defending champs. So where do you stand with the Bucks?
Well, they probably have the best known roster.
Yeah.
Baker would be comparable to Cousins. I like Cousins a lot better than Baker myself, but they have somebody who's capable. They have a proven wide receiver tandem, so they're going to be decent. But like you said, they haven't done anything to make themselves explosively better on either side, in my opinion.
Yeah. Adam?
I agree with that. I think they have the best offensive strategy in the NFL because Mike Evans is always down there somewhere. He will go get it.
10 straight years of doing it.
Yeah. I don't love their running back core. I think running the ball is where they're going to struggle. They have Vita Vea on the inside on defense. They have one of the best safeties in the NFL. I like Tampa Bay. I don't love Tampa Bay.
All right.
I think that the NFC South Championship game is going to be played Halloween weekend against the Falcons between the Buccaneers and
That's
the
the game
Falcons.
that's here, right?
That is the game that is here.
Yeah.
And I say that because, ultimately, when you look at the schedule, this year, the NFC South, their rival or interdivision opponents this year are the NFC West, the NFC East and the AFC West. And so between the AFC West, each team aside from the Panthers can end up 2-2 going against the AFC West, and also 2-2 again going against
NFC East.
Yeah. And so really what this comes down to is the luck of the draw when it comes to the interdivisional matchups for the one-off games, like against the AFC North or the NFC North or the last one I cannot bring up right now. But it's really going to come down to that, where the Buccaneers have a poor matchup scheme here, and this is what's going to hurt them and why they're going to end up second place is for the Buccaneers, because they're playing against Detroit at Detroit on the second weekend of the season on September 15th. Then on Monday Night Football, they're playing against the Ravens, and unfortunately things are not going to go their way against the Ravens, whereas the Falcons are playing the Steelers. And then the other matchups throughout the course of the year, it's going to be a race to see how well that they can perform in those interdivision matchups. So give me the Buccaneers ending up second, Falcons first. We're going to see the Saints at third, and then Panthers.
You kind of made that clear that the Saints could either win this division or fall all the way to third.
Yeah.
You made sure that we weren't going to fall to
So
fourth.
everybody's got Carolina at 4.
Yes.
Everybody's got Carolina at
Everybody's
4.
got the Saints at 3.
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
And who do you have at 1? Fox or the Falcons?
Tampa Bay.
All right. So give me those birds, dirty birds.
Are you over there doing the dirty bird?
He is.
That is not the dirty bird.
That's close enough.
It's called the rerun.
All right. We got to get to a last commercial before we get into our NFL picks for the week.
Tired of going to the same old places for the same old thing? American Access has your solution. Whether you're looking for something new to do before or after the game, the most memorable workouting ever, or just wanting to take something else off your bucket list, American Access in their 3.5 Atlanta locations in Marietta, Tucker, downtown at the Works, and the uber cool new mobile axe experience that can be set up wherever you need. Keep an eye out for them at coming events and festivals, including some Falcons games. Look us up at American Access or give us a call at 678-763-3635 to schedule your next adventure.
Thank you, Dan Fish, for being a sponsor of the Three Guys Who Love Sports. And let's get on to our NFL picks for the week. NFL starts tomorrow night with Baltimore getting 3 at Kansas City. Who do you got, Adam?
I don't know why Baltimore is +3 in this. I don't know why Kansas City is favored in this game.
Well,
that doesn't make any sense. They have no receivers. They have no receivers. Xavier Worthy is the only receiver on the Kansas City Chiefs.
Rasheed Wise.
He's okay.
They still got the guy from the State Farm commercials.
Give me Baltimore by 75. Not as much as Nebraska's getting over Colorado, but give me Baltimore by 75.
Yeah, Nebraska is giving points in that. That's crazy.
Yeah. Robert, who you got?
I've said it 50 times since the Super Bowl. You're stupid if you bet against the Chiefs. I'll take the Ravens as well.
I must be stupid because I'm taking Kansas City. Ian?
Yeah, I think Kansas City wins this one. It's going to be a tight matchup. The point spread here, +3, it's not going to be met. Quite frankly, Kansas City's going to win. It's going to be by a narrow margin.
All right. How about Green Bay and Philadelphia in Rio de Janeiro? Is that where they're playing?
Yes.
Yeah.
Friday Night Football.
On Peacock, which I won't get to watch.
On the cock.
Yeah. So Green Bay is getting 2.5. I'm going to take the Packers.
The Packers are not anywhere near as good as people think they are. They think they're going to the Super Bowl. Green Bay is not going to the Super Bowl. They might make it out of the first round of the playoffs. Jordan Love is not going to win the MVP this year. I hate the Eagles, but give me Philadelphia.
Ian?
Philadelphia, they are going to run that ball, and they are going to run it all over Green Bay. It's going to be a glorious day for Philadelphia fans down Rio de Janeiro. Unfortunately, you can't wear green in that stadium, apparently, because it's bad luck. And
the rival
both teams are green.
Yeah, both teams are green. Great job, NFL. So give me Philadelphia in this game. I think Philadelphia is going to run away with this one, literally. But I do think Green Bay puts up a fight. I think Josh Jacobs makes his Green Day debut. Looks good. I think Jordan Love is going to also look good, but they're not going to be able to keep pace with Philadelphia, who has an unparalleled rushing attack.
I agree. I'm going to say I'm taking the Eagles. Chuck's ready to write, so I want to say that first. The reason being is that Love had a great rookie year, and he really did. I didn't think he was going to have the season that he did, and he did. And they paid him back.
Rookie year.
Yeah, his rookie year, 9 years into the league.
Kind of like Penix will do.
But at the end of the day, Jones wasn't horrible. And
but
you
he was hurt all year.
But you brought in Jacobs. So I'll say Jacobs is a slight upgrade from Jones as far as what we thought last year. But you did nothing to give him targets, more people to throw to, faster people.
He's got Dontavion Wicks.
Oh, man, that is awesome.
Christian Watson.
I'll take the Eagles.
Ben Musgrave. Yeah, all right. Houston, -2.5 at Andy.
Go ahead and talk about your boy.
I love the Strouds so much. The Strouds are one of my favorite teams in the NFL. They added Stephon Diggs. They have the namesake of the team, C.J. Stroud. They added Joe Mixon in the running game. They have a great backup running back, too. I don't remember his name, but he had a great spin move in the preseason. Nope, different running back. Anthony Richardson is great. I love Anthony Richardson, but I will take the Strouds.
I will take the Strouds as well.
Houston's going to see a new stratosphere this year. No, they really are, because Houston has just done everything that they've needed to do this year in the offseason. Signing Stephon Diggs was a huge, huge upgrade.
They've got a great receiving core down
They
there.
do. It's a
Tank
phenomenal.
Dell and Diggs and
Nico Collins.
Nico Collins. Yeah.
It's going to be Stroud, 3 ways every single weekend this coming year, and Stroud's going to
my fantasy quarterback. Go CJ.
Yeah, that great pickup, by the way.
Yeah.
And he's just going to take the next step necessary to get to to take that team to where they need to go.
Don't forget about John Menchie III is back.
Yeah.
But give me Houston.
Which actually is something worth talking about a little bit. They've got a lot of weapons in Houston. I'll take Indy since all of you took Houston.
That's probably a good pick.
That's usually the good pick.
And I would have probably taken Houston if had you guys all said Indy, but Jonathan Taylor's real, and it's going to be interesting to see what Mr. Richardson's able to do with a whole season.
Yep. All right. San Francisco and the Jets. The Jets getting 4.5.
What's the over-under on how many plays Rodgers has?
2.
Because, the guy who snapped his leg last year now plays for this team. How awesome is it that the NFL figured out how to make this another possible thing? Hey, and don't lose any sleep overnight. But the guy who killed you last year from Buffalo, he plays for them now.
Yeah.
I just think it's awesome. San Fran. I'll take San Fran. Still not sold on anything that they got. But, anything could happen in this game.
Yeah. McCaffrey's back, they say. He's been out for a month. They said take care of his. I think just kept him out of preseason. I don't think he was ever hurt per se. I'm sure his calf was sore, but they just kept him out of preseason. I'd love to see the Jets win, but I'm going to have to go with San Francisco too.
Oh man, the Jets. I'm looking at San Fran, and San Fran, obviously the second best team in the NFL last year. However, though, with Aaron Rodgers coming back, being the best signal caller in the history of the game,
I knew. I could
Wait
tell.
a minute.
I could tell he was
Wait a
building up
minute.
to a huge one.
Wait a minute.
Let's let him finish that thought real quick.
Yeah, we can get into that
hold your
later.
horses for just 1 second. I know I'm saying like signal caller in terms of reading the defense
Peyton Manning.
and being able to make the adjustment and being able
Drew
to move
Brees.
the ball where he needs to move the ball to. He's in the top 3 at the very least. And moving over to New York, even though they play New Jersey and playing for
They're
the
in
Jets.
Jersey. They're
Yeah,
in
they
Jersey.
are essentially. I'm taking the Jets in this game. I love the Jets just because they're such an underdog story. Their fan base gets beats up every single year. Give me the Jets.
But the Jets at the end of the day have the first or second best defense by most people's standards, and they've got Breece Hall, which is the second best running back. They got Wilson, who's the 5th best wide receiver. So I don't think they're as downtrodden as everybody wants to make them. Yes, they lose a lot in their history, but I'm just not sure that old Mr. Rogers is going to make it all happen.
San Fran?
Oh, San Fran.
They added a lot on defense. They got Hassan Reddick from the Eagles, great pass rusher. He's going to make a big difference on that defensive line. They've got a fantastic defense. I have them in at least one fantasy league. Garrett Wilson's great. Breece Hall's fantastic. Aaron Rodgers is going to need another darkness retreat after this one because he made the wrong decision by going to the Jets. I as much as I love C.J. Stroud, I love Brock Purdy more. The San Francisco defense lost some pieces with Chase Young going to the Saints. But I'm taking San Fran. Where's Sean? Sean, I'm taking San Fran.
Sean's all upset. So our last game is actually our home team. So we've got Atlanta playing Pittsburgh without an H. There's a Pittsburgh State College somewhere, but obviously my Georgia graduate, from my Georgia friend over here, didn't know there's an H at the end of Pittsburgh.
I was looking at this piece of paper. It's on this piece of paper.
Oh,
so
okay.
It's okay.
Yeah, all right.
Well, and also it was Pittsburgh without an H from like 1901 till 1903. So,
Thank you very much.
Look at that,
Yeah,
Mr.
so-
Historian
Bam,
here.
bam, bam.
Bam. Look
Don't
at these.
don't make
things
Larry.
Pittsburgh
No,
except the university.
no,
Hey,
no.
the guy just said that Rodgers was the greatest signal.
Okay, you're right.
Let's let him have this one.
Let him have a moment.
He's got a little bit of dementia. It's okay.
All right, so who do we got? I would love not to take Atlanta, but I'm just going to have to take the Falcons. I'm probably going to regret it, but I'm going to take the Falcons.
Ian?
Pittsburgh is +3 in this game. +3.
+3 with home field advantage.
Yeah, with
In Atlanta.
essentially home field advantage. Yeah, the last time the Falcons played Pittsburgh, I was at that game. I will not be at this one. Ireland just cost too much. But Pittsburgh coming down here, basically having a home field game. There's so many Pittsburgh, Western Pennsylvanians that have transplanted down here, myself included, down to the great state of Georgia and Metro Atlanta. Pittsburgh is going to dominate the battle up front because that's what Pittsburgh does, and that's what the game of football is. And no matter how special the Stars might be down here in Atlanta, at the end of the day, it comes between the tackles, and between the tackles, Pittsburgh is a superior team up and down the floor.
See,
So
I
give me
believe
Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh's offensive line is weak. I think that's where the Falcons are going to exploit that, but we'll see. I mean, got a great defensive front, 2 great edge rushers.
Yeah.
And Cam, what's his name? Cam Hayward just signed a big contract in the middle on the defense. But
That means he doesn't have to try anymore now that he's been paid.
Exactly. I think we're going to outscore him. So that's my hope. ATI?
You know, I thought a lot about this. I think Justin Fields should be the starting quarterback for Pittsburgh. I don't think Russell Wilson. I think Russell Wilson is good, but I think the season will show that he's kind of done. I am gonna take the Falcons as much as I don't want to. Kirk Cousins is good. The defense is better than it was last year. Hopefully, they have Bijan, so I'll take the Falcons.
Robert, is this the year?
Make reservations now. I don't know where the Super Bowl is being played, but you should make them now. Now, you know, this is not a good Pittsburgh team. He's been pulling rabbits out of his butt for 18 years. Oh, never lost, no losing. Yeah, you're losing this year, buddy.
Tomlin?
Yeah, when you have 2 quarterbacks, you have none. And there's one part of what ATI said that might be right. Wilson might not be it, but either is Fields. That's the problem. Wilson used to have it and doesn't have it anymore, and Fields has never had
If
it.
Fields coming in, you know he's going to run the ball.
Best player on the field this weekend will be Bijan, and the Falcons will win going away.
All right.
Look for Bijan to have over 140 rushing yards.
So
Wow.
I think with the additions the Steelers made, with Wilson coming in, Wilson being the veteran that he is, him being named the starter and the only offensive team captain, I think, is a huge, tip of the cap from the Steelers management.
It definitely is.
To the players, because the fact of the matter is this, is that, Russell Wilson, even though he had a tumultuous time in Denver, he's coming to Pittsburgh, a city that loves to run the ball with a running core that is phenomenal. The upgrades that they made through the draft by picking up 2 top 5 guards and also a tackle for Fontu from Washington.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to do a phenomenal job this year. The offensive line got a significant upgrade coming into this year for the
You
Steelers.
can make your case all you want. I'm not going to change my pick.
Oh, yeah, I know. I understand that. I'm just telling you.
And at the end of the day, I've been watching their offensive coordinator call plays for the last 3 years. I'm not real impressed.
Yeah.
However, though, I will say this, is that, again, a city that loves to run the ball, seeing a coach come in that loves
Who wants to run it?
When you got Najee and Jalen Warren back there, we're going to have a great year this year. It's not going to be as great as they have been, but it's going to be an improvement from last year.
Warren will be the starter by week 5.
And over Najee?
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. That means my fantasy team's going to need to change. Guys, you know what? The one thing I was right about this week more than anything else?
It was going to be a lot to talk about.
There was a lot to talk about in this show, and we're running a little late. But, Ian, as always, buddy, thanks a bunch. Robert, great show. ATI, Larry, the engineer. Fun show today. Football is here, and that means we're in for weeks and weeks of lots and lots of talk.
Football.
And lots of wrong opinions, but that's okay. Guys,
Coming
until
to
then,
Pub Dubs.
until then, know your numbers, cover your ass, get your prostate checked. We'll see you next week right here on 3 Guys Who Love Sports.
Sorry, we ran over.
That was My name's Chuck Burge here with my co-host, Mr. Robert Kenny. Robert, how are you, buddy?
I'm hooting and hooing.
Awesome. And we're here with our former intern who's now kind of just like part of the show, Adam Crooks.
Our
I've
esteemed,
always been part of the show.
but you know,
you've become you've grown into your role.
Okay.
Okay.
And a word I would have never used a long time ago, esteemed.
Grown, esteemed.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I started off not talking, and now I get to pick games every week.
And now you don't shut up. So it's just somewhere in between
I
there.
actually don't remember the part where he wasn't talking is what I was thinking.
I never didn't shut up.
Correct.
Yeah, that's
there
true.
was a part where I wasn't talking, only when Larry shut your microphone off.
Larry can't shut my microphone off.
That's funny. So we got a big show for tonight. We got a lot of people going to be on tonight, so we're going to get into it. But first, we're going to get our Brain Train commercial out of the way.
Hey, it's Melissa at Brain Train Centers, the fastest growing neurofeedback provider in the world, and I have some pretty important questions for you. Do you or someone you know struggle with focus and attention, sleep, Hey, it's Melissa at Brain Train Centers, the fastest growing neurofeedback provider in the world, and I have some pretty important questions for you. Do you or someone you know struggle with focus and attention, sleep, memory, or other mood issues? Or maybe you just want to achieve more in high-pressure situations. Well, what if I told you you can unlock your brain's full potential and change your life entirely through neurofeedback, a drug-free and natural approach to negative moods, and it's backed by more than 50 years of research, so it's not new. It is safe for both children and adults as you retrain the brain to create new pathways. Medication may help short-term, but they don't address the underlying issues. Just as push-ups help your physical strength, neurofeedback is personal training for your brain. With over 20 offices nationwide, don't hesitate to reach out to Brain Train Centers, as we will provide you with the highest level of compassionate care and help you achieve the mental clarity, performance, and calm you deserve. Your journey to a better quality of life starts with a brain map. Now you can retrain your brain and reset your life. So just call or text 470-291-2778 or visit braintraincentersinc.com.
As if I had the
And
Twitter
we are
account
back.
handy.
These guys are yapping about something. We're back.
I'm always yapping
it's
about
the
something.
Owl Show, and it's time for our recap of what happened this week with the Owls. Adam, go to it.
I need like an intro that plays. Adam's recap of the week. We have like letters that cross the screen in sparkles.
So
Anyway.
I'm thinking of bugle like it's the start of a
Taps?
start of
Yes.
a horse
Like
race.
taps.
Yeah. Yes, and it like sparkles across the screen. Anyway,
So now that half your time is up, go ahead.
Now we have your new nickname. Go ahead, Sparkles.
no. Well, it's better than
Better than Fruit Loops.
it's better than peen.
Yeah.
Yeah, Peen was not a good one.
Yeah. Go ahead there, Fruit Loops.
Okay. So, women's soccer played on Thursday. We got our first draw of the season against UNF, our old conference foes. Ariana Rosenblum had a career high in saves. I believe she had 7.
Wow.
She is our new goalkeeper at the moment. Charlie Bernal, our usual goalkeeper right now, is out. She's got a big giant boot on her foot, as I saw today at practice.
Like Gatlin.
Yes, like Gatlin. So Ariana is a true freshman. She's coming in from Florida. She's played well so far. I talked to Coach. I talked to Coach last week. He said that she was really thrown into the fire in the UGA game. That was kind of her first game as a collegiate player. So she was really thrown into the fire with that one. But she played well against UNF. And then on Friday, the men's and women's cross country teams went to Ackworth and finished on the podium in both of those races. They finished third.
Did you hear that, Carrick?
They finished third. The men's and women's cross country teams finished third. Volleyball played against Wichita State and Indiana. We took losses in both of those games on Friday. But I heard the sets were pretty close. On Saturday, we played against Wichita State again, lost 3-2. We took it we came back in the 4th set, took it all the way to a 5th set. Just couldn't finish it out. And then football played against UTSA. our first FBS game of the year, and it was a good game. I was a little worried at the start of that game. UTSA went right down the field and scored, but we got back into it. We kicked a couple field goals, and Davis Bryson looked good.
I believe that we had 7. I was talking with Will earlier about the 7 straight possessions where they basically didn't do anything against us.
Yes.
Yeah.
Once the game had started.
And we're going to have Will and Carrick both on, who were at the game in a little bit, to talk about their trip to San Antonio. Are you through with your thing, Sparkles?
I am not done.
Oh, go ahead.
Sparkles is not done.
Go ahead, Sparkles.
Women's soccer also played Sunday, a game that I called on ESPN Plus. That game ended in a lightning delay at halftime, and per NCAA rules, you have to play at least 70 minutes of a game for it to be official. So it ended in a no contest versus East Tennessee State.
Was that here?
That was here, yes.
I don't remember the weather being bad Sunday.
That was at the bank. It didn't rain. It was just lightning in the area. We had lightning for about 2.5 hours, and they finally called it at halftime. Women's soccer plays again at Georgia State tomorrow night, which is a game I will be at. And then we've got volleyball Friday versus Gardner Webb and App State, and then again on Saturday versus ETSU. Before football, our first FBS home game against Louisiana. I'll be on the radio call for that game. So
you're going to come by the Blacklight tailgate?
I will not, sadly. Okay. But then golf starts next Monday and Tuesday. Women's is in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and the men's is in Maricopa, Arizona.
Yep, that's why the girls couldn't come in tonight. They were supposed to be on the show originally, but Brooke said they were just too tied up getting ready for their trip to Albuquerque, but they promised to come back on sometime in early October, so we'll get the girls back on. And look forward to that.
In other news, we had a qualifying event over at Pine Tree. Clayus Beauregard shot a 60, which is 12 under.
60 is good.
Yes, 60 is 12 under. 60 is very, very good.
Yes. Unless it's putt-putt.
Unless it is putt-putt. And the basketball...
I'm not saying that's that bad either. I'm just throwing that out there.
And then the basketball team got some new threads. So we've got a white uniform, I believe it's got the KS on the top and then the number. We've got a yellow uniform with owls in script across the top. And then we've got a black uniform. If you've ever seen the women's basketball uniforms, it's got Kennesaw across the top, the number, and then state across the bottom.
I like the script.
I like the script, too. The script yellow uniforms look fantastic.
Awesome.
It's got a little bit of pinstriping on it. Looks kind of like a Yankees uniform.
You had me at hello, and then you lost me.
Then you lost me, yeah. All right, Sparkles, you done?
Yes.
I'll throw one more thing out there that happened this weekend. Jacob Ulrich, our freshman punter, was named to raise 8.
That's fantastic.
I mean, you think about your very first game ever, and you're pulled out, if you will, and put with 7 other punters who were all with very large programs to say these 8 guys had the best day. That's a heck of a start to your career.
I'm sure you got a kick out of that.
and
Chuck will be here all night.
At least for the next hour. All right, so thanks, Adam. We appreciate you getting us up to date. And Robert, why don't you go ahead and do Express Lube while Adam reconvenes over there and does Ron Smith.
There are a lot of places to get your oil changed in the Kennesaw area, but if you're looking for a personal experience, then stop in at Castro Kennesaw Express Lube or Lost Mountain Express Lube. We'll always do our best to get you in and out quickly, safely, without a whole lot of fuss. We're a true owner-operated business where you'll find Brian under a car or a hood at one of the shops. We offer experienced, knowledgeable technicians in the latest computer software to help you maintain your new car warranty and keep your pride and joy running for the next 100,000 miles. We proudly offer Castro products.
Yes.
Making preparations for when you're not around anymore is not easy. Nobody likes to think about their own mortality, and I'm sure we can talk about this next week. Doesn't always fit into the big schedule picture, and that's why you should contact our friend Ron Smith at Senior Life Insurance. Whether you're being buried or cremated, costs keep going up, but you can lock in a price today and take off this final expense. Do your loved ones a favor and take care of this final expense so that when your time does come, they won't have to worry about it. If you're age 1 to 85, they have a plan for you. So please contact Ron and his team at 440-561-0758.
And thank you, Ron Smith and Brian Bristow, for being sponsors of the Owls Who Live Sports here on Wednesday nights at Miller's Ale House every Wednesday. So we have a special guest, another first-time guest tonight. You know, we just keep plugging them in, and they just keep coming.
And you know, whenever they come on, they either do incredible things quickly or they heal very quickly. So we're going for the latter on this one.
All right, how about a big hootie for our good friends, Gatlin Hancock? Listen to that crowd. Get comfortable over there, Gatlin.
How are you? Hop along.
I'm doing all right.
All
Good
right.
seeing you,
Best I
sir.
can.
Did you meet Sparkles?
I did.
Okay, good.
I did.
So welcome to the show, buddy.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, you bet.
So let me go ahead and get this one question out of the way. You're driving down 411. You're heading up towards the backside, towards Cave Springs and all that good stuff.
That's where I'm from.
There you go. Oh, we're right there. And you see 3 guys walking down the side of the road. One's wearing a Whitfield Academy shirt. One of them's wearing a Rabun County shirt, and the other one's just wearing a Rome Wolves shirt. Anybody getting picked up in your car?
Yeah, man. I'm gonna have to pick up my guys from Rome.
There's
no bad blood there. Love Rome High School. Love what they have going on over there. It's a big time program. It's a huge historical program. Wayne Groves, the old defensive coordinator at Rome, is now at Darlington, my old high school, as a head coach. He's a great coach, great people. So yeah, no bad blood over there. Now, if you would have said like Pebble Dragons, you know, or Murchie,
Whitfield wasn't getting picked up though. I can tell the way you.
Yeah, Whitfield. I love my boys over there. Caleb Lavalley's at UNC now playing linebacker, but he did beat us my junior year. So
no quarter for him either.
Yeah,
That's funny. That's awesome. Well, it's cool. Why KSU? How did you wind up here at Kennesaw State?
why Kennesaw? Let's see. Well, I was getting recruited by Grant Chestnut when he was still running the triple option, you know, and Lydia West. She is our sort of like our operation. She does everything behind the scenes for everybody. Love her to death. I grew up with her. She was my mom's student at Berry College.
Oh, wow.
And so when I got the chance to come to Kennesaw and just visit around, I had around 15 other Division I offers at the time.
Wow.
And Kennesaw was my last offer, and when I came to Kennesaw and visited Coach Bohannon, it was just like it was a home feeling. I only have one grandparent left, and I mean I'm from Rome, so you know it's only a 45 minute
drive,
to an hour drive, and I could go home. I have a little sister. She love her to death. She's
You got 2 siblings,
I
right?
got 2 siblings. Yes, sir. I have an older
But
sister.
he only loves one of them to death.
Oh no!
The other one,
I know they're
not so much.
watching right
Yeah.
now. I know they're watching right now. But I love my older sister just as much as I love
That's
my
good.
little
That's
one.
good. That's good.
And so I have one little sister. She goes to Choa a lot in Kennesaw, and because she is an amputee, we were a foster family at my house at one point, and so we're not anymore. We stepped away to give more time and dedicate to. I'm in college. I have an older sister. She has her own family that she started, and we have my little sister. So it's just really close to home. She goes to Choa right down the road.
Right across the street from Fifth Third Bank.
Yeah. It's awesome because I can be sitting in my room, and all of a sudden my parents just see and say, "Hey, we're in Kennesaw for the day with Miley. Do you want to come over here and have lunch?" I'm like, "Free lunch? Of course I'm going to come." So of course that's always amazing.
That's awesome.
Yes, sir.
That's really cool. So you said there were 15 other D1 offers. Where are the other ones coming from?
Oh wow, man. So I had my first offer was Gardner Webb, Stetson,
North Carolina, right?
Yes, sir.
Stetson's in Florida.
UTC, University of Chattanooga.
The Mocs.
I would have to.
That's okay. You hit the highlights. You hit the highlights. That's good.
One of my favorite ones to tell people, I had Columbia in the Ivy League too.
Nice.
And I had
wow.
a bunch of Patriot League
Yeah, because you
offers.
had like a 4.0 GPO. You're
Yeah,
smart.
yes, sir,
You're a
yeah.
smart dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No way around.
Columbia.
Columbia. Yeah. They recruited me, and I told them, it's one of my dad's favorite stories to tell people. Harvard called me and asked if I would like to come on a visit and stuff, and I said, well, and they said, well, this is what you're going to have to do. And at the time, I had a long mullet. I mean, I had a long mullet down to my shoulder blades. And
Be the only one in Boston with that bad boy.
yeah, they told me I couldn't bring my truck up there, my car. And I said, yeah, might as well start talking to somebody else because I ain't coming up here to ride trains. And you ain't going to see a person with a mullet from Lindale, Georgia.
Was that just their way of saying there's not any parking up here, you don't need it?
I have no idea, but it was a complete turnoff for me. Right when I heard that, I turned it around and I said, I'm staying in the South.
We're done.
Yeah, exactly. Cool. Yes, sir.
Boston's a great town. You would have enjoyed the visit, but yeah.
Never been. The first north I've ever been is Virginia, actually. So,
oh, yeah?
Yes, sir.
So now you're on our roster as a tight end. Is that what you played in high school?
No, sir. I committed to Grant Chestnut in the triple option offense, and I played defensive line in high school. My senior year, I got all region and everything for my junior year. Everything was for all state and everything O-line, and then my senior year was everything D-line. And so I was really a two-way player at Darlington because at Darlington I graduated with only like 70 people in my class. Very small school. Very small school. And so I played both. I didn't come off the field in high school. And so when I got to I came for a spring practice when Coach K was here in his first year, and he saw me and he said, Coach Bo brought me over to the side. He said, you're gonna be moving to tight end. He said, so I gained from the end of my senior year, I was around 240. Then I gained up to 260 pounds, and then I got to 260, feeling good coming in. I was gonna come in around 265-ish for my freshman year, and I got told that I was going to play tight end, so I had to cut all that weight back off.
Yeah.
And that was a pain.
Yeah.
So do you think because you were on both sides of the line and you were basically what they would call a big pretty?
A big pretty, yeah.
A big
pretty. I like the way you said that.
They call them big uglies, but you're just way too pretty for me to say that. Plus, I want to make it to my car safely as well. But so a lot of line work probably got everybody excited. We can take this guy anywhere, including, as it turns out, tight end.
Yeah.
So have you always been a catcher of the ball, or?
You know what? I've always loved the ball. The ball always didn't love me.
Yeah.
So I had actually one of my biggest flexes ever was in high school. I had 2 interceptions at D-line also.
Oh, wow.
Yep, exactly. That's how it was, one-handed. One of them was one-handed, and then I caught the ball, and before I even went down, I was celebrating, so I fumbled it. It's the greatest video ever. I get up, I catch the ball, I come down, and then I'm already getting up to celebrate. I'm throwing up a pass, and I'm throwing up a ball, and I'm hitting it, and I'm watching it go. But meanwhile, right behind me, 5 yards from the plate, they're fighting for the ball on the ground. But I didn't care because I got an interception. I was about to celebrate.
Oh, that's funny.
Did we keep the ball? No, but man, did you see my celebration?
Did you see that hit that I just made?
Did you ever dream of being a tight end, or they just came to you and said, "Hey, you're going to move to tight end"?
I'm gonna speak for all the big boys out there. It's always a dream. All my friends that I got recruited with and everything, they all went in different ways. Everyone, I made that post like I'm moving to tight end, and all of them were texting me and letting me know, man, you're living the dream now, ain't you?
You get to touch the ball.
I get to touch the ball, exactly, yes, sir.
That's awesome.
That is cool. So how did you hurt your foot?
Back before fall camp, I injured my foot, and it was a 5th metatarsal Jones fracture. I was jumping. I hate to say it, but this is probably the most unathletic thing I've ever done in my life. I've been telling people.
It's always good to have something like that happen right before you start your career in college.
I've been telling everybody that I was down at Panama City Beach, and a shark came around, and I started kicking it in the face and stuff.
Absolutely.
And that's the story I've been telling everybody because I don't want to tell anybody I jumped over hurdles, right? And so I was jumping over hurdles, and I just felt a pop, but luckily it's fixable. It's fixable, and I'm in a great headspace right now. I'm not down or anything around the football team. I'm still around everybody. Still go to meetings. It's been an honor because I've been keeping up with the freshmen a lot too. I've been helping, making sure they're all right, making sure they understand the playbook and everything. So it's been
Do you get a red shirt for injury, or do you know yet?
It's uncertain right now.
Yeah.
It's uncertain right now.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is, in your own unique way, you're so athletic. When you saw the hurdle over there, you just couldn't avoid it. I gotta try doing it at least once. I mean, I know I can do this.
Yeah, I guess so.
Did you play any other sports in high school?
Well,
did you run track?
Yeah.
I didn't run track. I threw shot put. For a year or two. I did a little bit of everything. I played basketball in middle school, realized that wasn't my thing. I got ejected my 8th grade year in the championship game. Yeah, I hung it up after that. Apparently, you can't give anybody a good love tap push in the championship game.
Probably in any game.
Yeah. So
Your version of the love tap, yes.
yeah, and then I played baseball my freshman year, and then I realized I couldn't hit a curveball.
Yeah.
And so everyone around the area knew I couldn't hit a curveball. Then I was like, yeah, maybe it's best if I just focus on my football.
There you go.
Yes, sir.
There you go. That's awesome. Now, I think my son at the Walker School, I think we came up to the Darlington and ran some cross-country meets up there.
Yeah, we played.
track meets.
They were in our region my sophomore and junior. We went to Walker my sophomore year, and then they came to us my junior year.
Yeah. You beat them both times?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Walker didn't have a great football program.
But yours was an A. You played A, correct?
I was a single A. Yes,
Single A.
I was a before they did all the classifications got split up. I was a single A private, and then that was my. So I was in the same region as North Cobb Christian right down the road, and Mount Perrin right down the road.
Yeah.
And we played Whitfield Academy. They were in our region, but we played them. And then my senior year, it was awesome because we got this one, all the classifications split up to private. And so I got my senior year, I got to play all of my hometown teams. Everybody like Armurchie, Coosa, Pepperell.
Coosa's still around? They still got high school?
Tryon.
And Tryon, yeah, Tryon. I love my boy Rob Brown. He's a running back here. He's from Tryon. Love him to death. But
He's KSU?
yes, sir, he is.
He's the only good thing that's come out of Tryon in a while, though. Just kidding with you. Just kidding with you.
My pastor came out of Tryon, so I can't give him a hard time.
That's a good one, too, yeah. All those Somerville boys, they play hard. They
Yep.
really hard. They love football. They eat, breathe, and sleep football up there. So it's a really good culture they have up there building.
Yeah, like they don't do that where you came from.
So what's the rehab like? What's the prognosis on the foot?
Hopefully we'll be getting back here in a couple weeks to run progression, and if everything checks the boxes, we can just keep on progressing until hopefully I'll be back in mid-October-ish. Hopefully that's our whole game plan, really.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. And I'm just
Try to get you back in the middle of the Conference USA schedule.
Sure, that's the hope. That's the plan.
Great.
We're very excited about being in Conference USA. Now, when you committed, you knew that they were going to be Conference USA,
No,
right?
sir. I actually
you did
didn't.
not.
I committed. I didn't commit. I went on a couple visits to some FBS programs. Went on a big visit to WKU, and it was.
WKU looked good Saturday night.
No, they did.
I know that was
The red
being
blobs.
facetious. The red blob got blobbed.
Yeah.
Yes, they did.
Yeah. So we hope that's gonna be a big game for us. It's gonna be a big game. This whole season every game is gonna be a challenge for us. That's obvious. But right now we are all in high hopes. Right now, everybody has a motive to be at practice. It's Coach Bo's said it multiple times that we got a chip on our shoulder, and every one of us knows we have a chip on our shoulder. It's just awesome. I think it's all the players. We think it's awesome. We send it to the group chat almost every day of all these spreads of all these teams and stuff. That what they have us at. It's just a chip on our shoulder, and especially the preseason schedule that they put out of us, and it was just L. W, L, 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 and maybe a W at the end. So that was a real big chip on our shoulders. And we love seeing that stuff like that. We like being the underdog.
And without getting you in trouble, is that hanging up in the locker room? Can football players on a regular time?
We have it some places, but we all know where it's at. It's all in the back of our heads every single day we walk out on that field.
That's good.
So are you in the game?
I am
It's in the game.
I have a couple questions about.
Yeah, go ahead.
They have you. I believe you're a 54
man.
with the new update.
I went from a 53 to a 54.
And you hadn't even done anything.
what is that?
You're getting better every day.
And that's your overall game rating?
That's my overall game rating, but it doesn't match up because I'm a little saucy about it, as you can tell. It kind of hit me hard.
No.
No kidding.
You look like you were very acceptable on that.
Yeah, it was. I look at all my attributes like a 70-something, a 80-something. Then all of a sudden I pop out my overall and it's a 53, and I was like, golly, all my friends from back home. It was really funny because all my friends from back home, they were sending me videos. They weren't sending me videos of doing good things. They were sending me videos of against Georgia and sending me across the middle on a drag and having C.J. Allen or somebody like that, one of those 4 or 5-star guys come and just clobber me. And they thought it was the funniest thing ever.
But now, how is it that they're able to? you played zero tight end.
Yes, sir.
And so they've got to give you a number so you're in the game. I mean, so at least they did give you a number,
They
right?
gave me
Did they give you anything in the 20s or anything?
Yeah, I know. It was really exciting just to see my name on a game and see my picture up there, and just seeing my last name. I knew it meant a lot to me, and it meant a lot to my family.
I'm sure it did. Yeah.
Just to see your last name on a video game that millions are playing all over the world. So that was really a truly.
Yeah, Sparkles here is going to be the next head
Sparkles
coach.
got some more.
He's got some more stuff for
How many Heismans have you won?
So I'm not gonna lie, I'm not the biggest gamer of all time, but I let my brother-in-law take my code from me, so because he likes it a lot, so I got to go there and play it with him. So he said he's been putting up some good numbers for me and everything. So I haven't really been playing the game that much, but he said that he's put up a lot of good numbers for me.
Well, Adam's won a couple of natties with KSU.
I have, yeah.
You beating up everybody for us?
Of course.
Hey,
That's my job.
You're the one doing the heavy lifting. He just pressed the button.
I hear you.
So, who were you a fan of before you looked at KSU? Who did you
Like
pull
my
for?
lifelong?
Yeah.
Like my life, the Georgia Bulldogs.
Okay, we're through with Gatlin.
Yeah, no, I have one of my hometown teammates, Tate Ratledge, starts a left guard or right guard. I can't remember, but
Very large
That's
man.
right. Nobody from Athens knows the difference between left and right either. So that's,
oh man, where you from? Who you cheer for?
go Jackets.
Oh man.
None of that stuff.
Oh man.
Go Owls. Moving along.
I have a good. We had a kid transfer to Georgia Tech, Ronnie Thomas, a long snapper.
Ronnie's been on the show before.
Yeah,
Yes.
he's one of my. He's a good buddy of mine. He's awesome. But yeah, I cheer for. Like I said, I always cheer for the hometown team, hometown state. As long as they're not playing the Bulldogs. So
And it's
Nauseating.
And it's different when you're me or any of these guys who, we're looking from you're actually playing against these guys in high school. So it's like, yeah, he picked the wrong school, but he's a decent guy, and I'm gonna keep following him.
Yeah, Ronnie's been on the show a couple of times. He's a good guy.
One of my favorite stories ever with Tate was it was my 8th grade year. So in 8th grade we get to play up spring ball because we're going into high school. We get to play. So he was a senior and I was an 8th grader, and he, like you said, a very large human being, 6'7", 320 pounds, and he is a brute. He's a brute, and I'll always remember. Do you remember like in junior pee-wees when you get hit hard, your dad comes there, grab by the shoulder pads and picks you up?
Right.
It was every day for me. I'd hold it back. He'd sit there and run through me, man. And then I always remember we had one practice. We had Sam Pittman on the field, Kirby Smart, Nick Saban, and Dan Mullen was all on the field. They all flew in helicopters on our turf.
To see a guy who might be
At
6'7",
Darlington?
300.
Darlington?
Yeah,
Wow.
it was awesome. And I'm sitting there, and I'm every bit of 6 foot, 180 pounds at this point. I don't even think I've hit puberty yet. I was sitting there, and Tate sitting there just beats the crap out of me all day long. And I'm walking off the field, and Sam Pittman comes up to me and taps me on the back and says, "It'll be good for you one day, son." He said, just keep getting up. He said, "You'll never be hit that hard in my life any other time." And I can stand to this day, I've never been hit so hard in my life by Tate Ratledge.
So now you did not actually play with him, is that correct?
I did, actually. My freshman year, I played with him.
Oh, okay.
So I got to watch him.
So what is that like? Because if you're playing at Milton or Buford or one of these larger schools, you expect to have a couple. When the single A team rolls in, nobody's expecting 6'7", 330 to get off that much.
Yeah. We at Darlington we played a lot of great competition because I had Tommy Eighth as my head coach, and one of my greatest mentors ever. He bet one of my best coaches. He still checks up to me on this day, calls me and checks on me. We had we didn't play anybody in a single A until we got to our region. So we'd play 4A, 5A team. We played some big schools. We played Heritage up in Chatsworth area. Heritage.
Yep.
It's up there in the north. I think it's up there. And we played them. We played Schnorrville. We played a bunch of bigger teams. And
Snorville.
Schnorrville.
I've never heard of Snorville.
Yeah, they're over in.
Well, if you're from the outskirts of Rome, it's a big school.
Well, every school around there we think is a big school because we're all 1A, and then you have Rome right in the middle of it. So, like I said, we were a very small school, but I'll tell you what, Darlington, when we played the whole. I mean, you go into Rome or anything like that on a Friday night. no ghost town. Everybody's at a high school game, and every game's going to be packed out with fans. And
Absolutely.
That's Friday night football, baby.
and
Friday night lights.
Yes, sir. Most definitely.
That's awesome. Well, we got one more question before we let you go. Obviously, we want you to get back so we can watch you play over at Fifth Third Banking. But one thing we ask everybody is, who's the most famous person in your cell phone?
No, you could look through it.
I have to say,
You know.
Tate's one of them, but Mason. I had Mason Kinsey, wide receiver for the Tennessee Titans. He played at Berry College. My mom is a director of the athletic department over there at Berry College, and so I was very connected growing up with football and their startup program over there. And so I got to watch him play when he was a D3 All-American, and then now he's in the NFL. He's on and off the active squad, and I have him, and I always like to say my dad, because my dad,
That's a great answer. Dad's gonna like that answer.
I tell you what, it's like every time we go out in public, he's running for, I say we all say he's running for president. He's big. He's a politician back home, and everybody knows him. Everybody knows me. He might get a text some days like, "Hey, I saw your son in Kennesaw today," and it's just like, I didn't see you. It was one of those. It was one of those things. I like to say he's one of great guy, great role model for me. So
That's awesome.
Awesome.
Let me ask you one more follow-up question, just because you just said your mom was closely connected to Berry College's athletic department.
Yes, sir.
What was it like when you decided not to go there? I can only imagine there was a little bit of trying that they were trying to get you to go in that direction.
Yeah, well, my parents let me do it. All of my recruiting, everything was on my time. They supported me throughout the whole process. My decision, it was my goals to go. I wanted to get away from Rome a little bit, experience a little bit bigger environment. And I thought Kennesaw would be perfect. Like I told you before, it's the perfect distance from home. If I get a little homesick and I'm beaming down 411, like you said.
Absolutely.
To Rome, try to get a home cooked meal by my mom. And so she really didn't want me to go to Berry, because my older sister, my brother-in-law played football at Berry, and my older sister was a cheerleader at Berry. So they went through Berry, and it's just more. This is more my speed. The bigger environment.
That's good.
The bigger environment. It's sort of like a small pond over there. Everybody knows everybody. I wanted to get out and try to do my own thing.
Everybody in this room is glad you made the decision you did.
Absolutely.
appreciate
We've
it.
got one last thing we want you to do. I want you to look at that camera.
Yes, sir.
And tell the next great player out of Rome why he should come to KSU.
Why you should come to KSU? I like to say just because it's a family environment. You know, we're so close knit. We cook. I kid you not. Every week we are doing something with our team, cooking out, whether it's just hanging out, fellowshipping with each other. You'll build lifelong relationships. I built with my tight end group. I'll confidently say we're the closest group on the whole team, in my opinion. We're all best friends. We text every day, checking on each other. My biggest thing, I'm big in the Lord, everything. And so when Coach Bo, every day he asks us any prayer requests or anything, that hits home for me, because everybody has a chance to say anything, and no one is obligated to say anything, but everybody does, because that's how close we are, and we want everybody to be praying for each other. And so that's why I say that Kennesaw is by far the best choice I've ever made, is to come here. You'll build lifelong relationships with everybody around you. It's a big school. People don't realize how big Kennesaw is. People say, I have friends like, how big are your classes? You only have 20 people, just Kennesaw not a big school. No, I'm in 100 person lectures every day.
Right.
And I see every day it's a new face, new person to talk to, new connection to build. And like when I met Sarek, it was awesome, because that's the connection built right there, and connected me with y'all. So it's you build connections every day. It's just dependent. It's all up to you what you want to do with how you treat your time here at Kennesaw.
Right. Well, what we want from you is all these other people that you're connected with. We want to get them on the show too. So.
Yes, sir.
But
Yes,
first
sir.
of all, we thank you for coming.
Yes,
How about
sir.
it? One more big hootie hoo
Yes, sir.
for
I
Gallon
appreciate it.
Hancock.
Thank you.
All right, man. Welcome back
Yes, sir.
anytime.
We
all
look
right?
forward to seeing you later this season.
Yes, sir. Thank
Absolutely. All right, so let's get Joshua Smith out of the way, and we'll get Carrick and Will on.
Joshua Smith and his wife Tammy are both graduates of Kennesaw State College. He's been practicing law for 24 years, specializing in sports and entertainment law while continuing in criminal defense, civil litigation, juvenile, and personal injury law. And he's ready to represent you all the way from your small town to the Supreme Court and any appellate court in between. With all the new rules regarding NIL and cash payments to athletes, they are placing a new emphasis on Kennesaw State University student athletics to help our student athletes better navigate some of the bigger issues that have tripped up so many. Give them a call tomorrow at 706-217-2095.
And we thank you, Joshua Smith, for being a sponsor of the Owls Who Live Sports here every Wednesday at Miller's. That was a fun interview, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah, he's great.
Yeah.
Hey, I was just thinking about the commercials. I always say the same thing at the end of all the commercials, and that's give them a call tomorrow. Unless you want to call them tonight and leave them a message.
I'm sure they'll answer the phone.
Well, they might not be there, but you could, yours could be the answering machine, that they have to press the button
That
for
they
in
have
the
to
morning.
do. Everybody, thanks again for Gatlin Carrick. Thanks for that connection.
You're welcome.
You're really, really good, dude. So both these guys, Will and Maynard G. Krebs, were at San Antonio on Saturday for the first FBS game.
Was your
of this
salsa from
season.
there?
What?
Was
My
your
salsa?
salsa from there?
Will tried to pick a fight. I just have to.
Wow, Will, you picking fights?
Was it about salsa or
No,
barbecue?
it was not about salsa. It had to do with Whataburger. By the way, UTSA's team colors are just like the Whataburger uniform.
Yes, they are.
And if you say
I've
that-
never thought about that.
I
But
never
that is
did
true.
either, but
and
it's
if you
right
say
there.
it loud enough,
I can-
you offend a few people.
So can you get a Roadrunner Whataburger? They make burgers out of Roadrunners.
Roadrunners. Oh, I don't know about that.
If you eat one, you turn into a road runner.
I like the way Will said that. If you say it enough, they'll get mad. So clearly they didn't get upset the first 19 times he said it. So let me just make sure this section heard me say it. Beautiful.
Did they love your flag?
Oh, well, they got to love me.
Who cannot love you, Will? That's what I'm thinking.
I don't think the UTSA fans love him, but
I went over and talked to him. It was all in fun.
Absolutely.
I really annoyed UTSA fans towards the end of the game when I was saying, I bet you're sorry you gave those 25 points now. How much money you losing today?
It was 24.5, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we all picked KSU last week to cover the points, and we were right about that.
Yes.
Yes, we were.
But when you got the ball in the fourth quarter with a chance to take the lead, you've done something right.
That's right.
Correct.
Yeah. Yeah. So tell us about the experience.
It was great. I flew out with the team and very efficient. And then I went with the alumni to an event Friday night at the home of Mickey Dunn, the major donor for our baseball stadium. Mm-hmm. He had a very nice spread. I'll let Will tell you more about it. But
Did you bust your diet?
no, he
I stayed on the protein diet.
Attaboy.
Yeah.
I didn't eat the lobster mac and cheese or whatever that dish was.
and the beef Wellington and the prime rib.
Yeah.
And
You stayed away from the good
all the
stuff.
prime rib sounds good.
Yeah. Yeah, that's cool. So Mickey's is from out there, or?
no, he's from Chatsworth.
He's
He
just
had
rented
moved
his
his
space?
business to Mexico, and
Oh, okay.
now he lives there. Has 2 houses there. We understand.
Yes.
In San Antonio?
What? No,
Fredericksburg,
Fredericksburg.
Okay.
about an hour from San Antonio.
Oh, okay.
Pretty exclusive resort that
A really
we
nice
got to go
gated
to.
community up there just north of Fredericksburg called Boot Farm.
Yeah, his
Farm.
Yeah.
house is for sale.
If you say
$14
it's a
million.
subdivision,
I don't have the cash.
the lots range from 2 acres to 15-acre lots. That's
Oh,
the
wow.
kind of
In the neighborhood?
yeah.
With their own golf course in
Yeah,
the
with their own
neighborhood.
golf course. It's in the wine country of Texas. It was beautiful.
So it's north of San
There's an
Antonio?
expression
Yes.
not a lot of people are accustomed to.
The wine country of Texas.
Yeah.
It's in the wine country of Texas.
I've been to New Braunfels, which is just north of San Antonio.
Yeah.
So you probably have to go through there to get to Mickey's.
Yeah, I
This
have
was
no
near,
idea.
Comfort, Texas, if you know where
Yeah.
that is,
Yeah,
off Highway 35.
yeah.
Yep.
That's cool.
So it was nice.
So the weather was hot.
It was hot, but we played inside, so that was
Yeah.
good.
How was the Alamo? Did you guys enjoy the Alamo?
I did. I got to go Saturday. I think Will went Friday.
I went Friday. I even had
I
a
saw a
shirt.
picture.
The shirt that had. It was like a carrot joke. It was spelled OWL, Alamo.
Yeah, yeah.
That was me.
Hey, just for the record, I wear those shirts, so don't be just making fun of his humor like that.
I heard that some of the staff went over there to the Alamo, and the Alamo was closed.
I don't know when they went.
I don't know when it was closed.
Apparently, the Alamo was closed.
I guess they didn't remember the Alamo.
No, you can't remember it all the time.
It was open at 2
Too bad
o'clock
they
on
didn't
Friday.
come up with that 112 years ago.
It was open.
It's closed.
It was open 10 o'clock on
Just move along, Santa
Saturday.
Ana.
So I don't know.
So what was your most fun part of the game? I mean, obviously we played well.
I tell you what, I got a call, I think on Wednesday, from a player's parent said, my son's hurt and he's not going. And I'm like, oh, geez. And it was the punter. Well, we took a backup punter.
And Robert was talking about him just a few minutes ago.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
That was a show he put on.
Yeah, the punter usually comes to the tailgate, right?
His family
the
does.
black light, yeah.
Well, so does
his
the backup
dad,
punter's
his dad
family.
His dad's a singer, right?
No, yes, that's the main. Well, that's his stepdad, but
Yeah,
that's the punter's family.
Yeah, that's wild.
And so the Ulrich's family also comes to their tailgates as well, but he put on a show.
So what is Ray's 8 that you were telling us about?
So Ray's 8, they basically Ray Guy, who is one of the greatest punters of all time. They single out 8 different punters who performed incredibly that week, and his was his punting average for the game was 54.6 yards.
Yeah.
That's his average.
And what was his net?
It was like 54.6.
Yeah.
I don't think there was a big difference on that one.
Yeah,
That was
those
the
were
crazy
not
part.
bounces and rolls either.
Right. Just
Good punts.
just bombing them.
It looked like Brett Favre just throwing one of his bombs.
Right.
I mean, one of them was
This
a
one's
good
gonna go out
spiral.
at the 2.
It was crazy.
It is crazy, but sometimes I think, and I'm sure Mr. Ulrich is going to dominate for the rest of his collegiate career and all that other good stuff. But sometimes when you don't know, you're getting ready to be, hey, by the way, you're in today.
You're punting today.
It's just that extra little thing, and the endorphins kick in, and man, this kid's clearly got some endorphins.
And we had several other highlights. I mean, first of all, that was not only our first FBS touchdown, it was our first touchdown by a tight end. Ever
for KSU. Yeah.
So there's an answer to a trivia question. Carson Kent caught the first touchdown as a tight end and first FBS touchdown.
Yeah. Well, it's not really first FBS touchdown, but once we're
as an
members,
FBS team.
As an FBS team,
Yeah.
So, Carrick, I know you guys both had a good time, but you told me you had a couple other things that you wanted to talk about.
Yeah, I just wanted, being the president of the Alumni Association, I want everybody listening to know that the KSU Alumni Association has started a program called 40 Under 40, where we are looking for outstanding graduates at Kennesaw State who are doing phenomenal things in their life after graduation.
They have to be under 40?
They have to be under 40. Unfortunately, Chuck, you and I don't qualify.
Not even close.
But I do.
You're not
Actually, I haven't
you haven't
graduated
graduated yet.
But you also can't nominate yourself, so forget it.
Oh, but
So-
if you could, Sparkles
If I could
would.
nominate myself.
Sparkles would be all over
Yeah,
that.
so nomination forms you can find by going to the KSU alumni website, and the forms are there.
have my
Nominations
mom
are
nominate
open
me.
right now, and they close September 30th, so time is of the essence.
Am I allowed to just start randomly throwing out names right now?
You would be allowed to nominate somebody. They
Yes.
would just have to
Well-
agree to be nominated.
Well,
So you
there's-
could take
There's a certain gentleman,
Caleb
I believe.
O'Deal or
I
whatever.
believe he was the first former football player ever on the show.
Travis Bell?
No, Travis Bell was our
Barclay?
400th player on the team.
Barclay Miller?
No, Mr. Cole Loden.
Oh, Cole? Was he on before Barclay?
well,
can't
certainly he would be a good nominee.
That's
So
what I'm saying. He's under 40.
I'm
He's
sure Will
active.
would
He's
nominate Cole.
so.
Yeah.
But anyway, I just
out
want to
there.
let everybody know that
Ball
program
out
is
there,
out
Cole.
there, and that's all I had.
You know,
I
they
thought
have
you had something else. I thought they said a couple
no,
of
they
things.
have the 40 under 40. I want somebody to nominate me for the group called the Next 20.
Is that you're hoping to make it 20 more?
No, I'm just
Then
in
I
the
could
next
be
20 age group.
Then I could be in
the
the
next
next
20.
20. The next
The 20
20.
after that.
The 20 after
You
the
got
20
the
after
40,
the next 20.
40 under 40, and these guys are trying to do stuff right before they kick the bucket.
Hanging
cool.
on till retirement.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, we appreciate you guys being on. Will, Carrick, you can sit in with us. We're going to make our Conference USA picks. for the next week if you want to. But let's go ahead and get our American Access commercial out of the way.
Dun, dun, dun. Tired of going to the same old places for the same old thing? American Access has your solution. Whether you're looking for something new to do before or after the game, the most memorable work outing ever, or just wanting to take something else off your bucket list, American Access has 3.5 Atlanta locations in Marietta, Tucker, downtown at the Works, and the uber cool new mobile axe experience that can be set up wherever you need. Keep an eye out for them with coming events and festivals and a few Falcons games. Look us up at American Axes or give us a call at 678-763-3635 to schedule your next adventure.
And thank you, Dan Fisher, for being a sponsor of the Owls Who Live Sports. Somebody has swiped my pen. Robert, have you got my pen?
No.
Oh, okay. All right. So Larry has actually add Ian, but this needs to be Will that's making picks on the WTA, and we'll put a little column in here for Carrick too. So last week, Will went 6-3-1, or 6-3-1.
Yeah.
6-3 and tied.
And Robert went 6-3-1, and Adam went 4-5-1, and I went 4-5-1. So off to a slow start for some of us, but we got another week to make up. It's a long season. We got a lot of time to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got a long way to go.
Yeah.
And a short time to get there.
Yeah.
I've
We're
heard
gonna
that
do
one
what they say
before.
can't
Jerry
be done.
Reed, right?
Jerry Reed.
There you go.
Texarkana, baby.
Yeah. All right, so we all messed up last week because we all took Jacksonville State laying 3 against the Chanticleers of Coastal Carolina.
yeah.
And they clobbered us.
And
Or
I
clobbered
will,
them.
Yeah, I was gonna say, be careful with the us start.
Them.
I'll go ahead and pick this game
They
first.
clobbered the Gutter Girls.
I'm all about that bowling team, sir. I really, really, really want it. I was even telling somebody about it the other day. After that showing, now this, just for the record, has nothing to do with Adam's insistence that Louisville will go undefeated or lose possibly one game this year, but they're going to cover this. Jack State's going to lose badly.
I will join Robert and probably ATI on that list and
I think that's, yeah.
go with Louisville. Louisville.
I think that's one of the ones I
Louisville.
missed last week.
It was.
I'm going
It
to take
was.
the Louisville
We all
Cardinals.
missed it, yeah.
They looked good against Austin P last week. Tyler Shuck
You have
and
to what?
Brady Allen. Tyler Shuck
They had
and
their
Brady
prostate
Allen.
game.
What?
P?
Oh, shucks.
Let's go P.
That's awesome.
They played Austin P. Ja'Cory Brooks looked fantastic. 7 catches, 83 yards.
They peed all over him. Yeah.
I'm going to take the Cardinal.
Carrick, you chugging the Cardinal too?
Yeah, I'm definitely a Louisville fan. That's because my good friend Tori Alarillo goes to Louisville.
All right.
What was anybody stung by a jellyfish?
No.
I heard something about pee all over him, and I wasn't sure of the context.
Go ahead and put me down for Louisville as well.
I've already got you down
Jacksonville
for a little
State played 2 quarterbacks, and Robert, what do we say about people that play 2 quarterbacks?
You
If
have
you
no
got
quarterbacks.
2, you
You
got
got
none.
0.
There you
Yeah.
go. All right, second game, Middle Tennessee State getting 41.5 at Ole Miss.
You know,
now,
Lane-
MTSU did not cover last week. That was one of the ones I missed.
Lane Kiffin has been known to call off the dogs in games like this. Oh, no, that's right. That is not his thing. I'll take Ole Miss.
I was wondering where you were going with
Robert
that.
will take Ole Miss.
Man, if ever there's a guy who likes to run up a score, it's probably his face that pops up when you
Will, who
Google
you
that.
got?
At 41 at the half, he's going to start throwing it deep then.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah,
that's when the flea flickers start.
Ole Miss.
Ole Miss.
I'm definitely taking Ole Miss.
ATI.
Ole Miss beat Furman 76-0 last week.
Yep.
Jackson Dart threw for 418 yards. So there is no calling off the dogs at the Grove. I'm taking Lane Kiffin and the Rebels.
Carrick.
Well, you know, my uncle was a professor at Ole Miss, so I'll go with the Rebs.
Tell me this: after this week's, do you think Dart drops up into the top 5 for Heisman? Because after 2 weeks, he's going to have some of the dumbest numbers ever. He's played 2 games. He has 900 yards passing, 11 touchdowns. It's going to be crazy.
I think Ole Miss is going to take a break this weekend. I'm going to go with the Blue Raiders, basically because my son's a Middle Tennessee State graduate.
You are a risk taker, Chuck.
Is that a 45-7 game, or are you looking
45-7.
Okay, well, I'm just kind of wondering how.
Yeah, they're going to score a lot of points. All right, Central Michigan plus 6.5 at FIU.
Well, this is the only game where somebody from Coosa is playing somebody else and favored.
Oh, there you go. I didn't catch that.
So I'm gonna go with the only Coosa favorite that I see playing other teams.
Did Gatlin say something about a buddy of his from Coosa, or what are you talking about?
No, Conference USA. That's what.
Coosa.
Oh, okay.
That's what he.
That's what we call it.
Yeah, sorry, not
That's
not
what we
the
call
Floyd County reference.
So you're taking FIU?
I'm taking FIU. They're favored in this game. That's pretty exciting.
All right. I think it's the Chippewas.
They are the Chippewas.
Yeah.
My baby, she's a Chippewa.
I'm going to take the points.
She's one of a kind.
I'm going with the Panthers.
FIU.
FIU Panthers.
Everybody else FIU?
FIU is playing. This game is being played at Pit Bull Stadium.
There you go.
I'm excited for Pit Bull Stadium. I'm really excited when we go down to Pit Bull Stadium.
Yeah.
The Chippewas, I don't know a ton about Central Michigan this year. I'll take FIU and Pit Bull Stadium.
So does at Pit Bull Stadium is the national anthem like an EDC party? How does that work?
Who knows? We'll find out, though.
Yeah.
Sam Houston plus 22.5 at UCF.
I think Gus
Sam
kills them.
Houston beat Rice this week.
They did. They beat
Yeah.
Rice by 20.
That was another one
That
that
Rice
a lot
was
of us
soggy.
missed. Yeah. Yeah.
I go with UCF.
Nobody likes their rice al dente.
I don't think
Who
most
is
people
Al?
know
I don't
what
even know who Al Dente is.
He's the chef.
Wasn't he on Married with Children? Oh, no, that was Al Bundy.
I was getting ready to say nobody even knows what al dente is, and then you just charged through that door.
Who's Al Dente?
Proving my point.
There you go. All right. Adam, how about you?
KJ Jefferson's the starting quarterback for the UCF Knights. They're wearing special helmets this week designed by people at the Arnold Palmer Pediatric Hospital.
Winnie's Hospital.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with UCF. My gut says Sam Houston because it's a lot of points, but I'm gonna go with UCF.
I'm going to go with the Golden Knights and what they are at UCF.
Yes.
They're just the Knights.
Yeah.
The Golden Knights are the hockey team in Las Vegas.
Get the puck out of here.
I'm going with UCF.
All right. Me too.
My buddy Bryson played down there one year, so I'm going with them.
Robert?
I'm going UCF as well.
UCF across the board. That means Sam Houston will cover.
There you go.
All right. We have an even game. Eastern Kentucky and Western Kentucky.
Eastern
Western-
Kentucky.
I just heard that Western Kentucky just gave up another touchdown. I don't know if that's real or not, but I heard that they just gave up another one.
To Alabama. Yeah, that was a butt whooping. Yeah. After watching that, I can't pick Western Kentucky against anybody. I'm going to go EKU.
Well, EKU had a great time when they went down to Starkville for the weekend and lost 56-7. So combined, these two teams lost 120-7 last week.
No wonder it's even.
There's hope for lots of them.
I'm not saying there's a reason why everybody really hopes that the Kentucky Wildcats are good. It's because they know nobody else from Kentucky is going to be good.
Yeah.
Well, my buddy Grant is on staff now at Western Kentucky, so they're at home. So I'm giving them the advantage on an even game because they're at home.
You're going to take the Blob?
Yeah.
And I'm definitely taking the Blob, even though both of these teams lack a little of anything.
Excitement.
Western Kentucky's a bigger team and should win this game.
Yeah.
I'm also going to take the Blob. I think losing by 63 to Alabama is more impressive than losing by 57 to Mississippi State.
It's 49. They only lost by 49.
I'm sorry. That is a very, very bad Mississippi State team. They're probably going to finish last in the SEC.
Well, Western Kentucky actually drove into Alabama territory several times.
Yes.
And they stopped them on turnover down. So they were
Yes.
inside the 20, I think, a couple of times.
Yes.
And
So
just didn't score.
I'm going to take, I'll take the Blob.
All right.
Are you playing both sides on that? You know, you thought Alabama looked so good, you're ready to ship the national championship over to them.
Yeah.
And now you're going to give the Red Blobs credit for crossing midfield a couple times.
But I picked EKU.
Absolutely,
All right.
absolutely.
All right, so here we go. Southern Utah also an even game against the Miners of UTEP.
I'm going to pull a Kirk
working on the
Herbstreit here and say
railroad.
because I'm broadcasting the game, I'm not going to pick.
Look at you. You just wanted to say that, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
I don't blame him. That's a good thing to say.
Yeah. All right.
In a pick 'em, I'm going with the home team, so I'm going with UTEP.
Miners.
Oh, we're picking UTEP?
I was wondering what game you were
I
calling.
thought
Yeah, you weren't listening.
Larry has it messed up on the
No,
on
I
the
just
sheet.
saved KSU for last.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not exactly Larry's fault.
Southern Utah. It is Larry's fault. It's both of their faults.
Okay.
It's both of their
It's
faults.
everybody's but Adams.
I
Chuck
always pick
skipped.
the Falcons last. I always pick KSU
Chuck
last.
skipped, and Larry doesn't have it last. Southern Utah, UTEP. I don't know a ton about Southern Utah this year. I watched UTEP. They played Nebraska this week. Dylan Raiola
Lost 40-7.
Yes, UTEP did not look good, but I'll take UTEP. I think they're better than Southern Utah.
Yeah, Southern Utah lost to Utah 49-0. So very similar.
So Utah, what happened to them?
These two teams lost by a combined 89-7 last week. So woo woo. But yeah, I'll go UTEP because I think it's going to be a slightly larger school, slightly
I'm going to go with the Miners as well. Carrot, Southern Utah, and UTEP. UTEP.
Carrick's going with UTEP.
UTEP across the board. All right.
Southern
You
Utah
know what to
will
do
win.
at home when you hear that.
Yeah. All right.
Here we go.
Here we go. Liberty minus 22.5 at New Mexico
Tell
State.
Sprinkles what game we're calling now.
Yeah, Sparkles.
Sparkles.
Not Sprinkles.
Hey, you don't tell Will
Sprinkles
he can't
is
call him
a-
Sprinkles. Hey, if Will wants to call him Sprinkles, he should be allowed to call him Sprinkles. I'm just
Sprinkles.
saying. If Mama call him Larry, I'm gonna call him Larry.
Oh, my gosh.
After the first half last week, there's no way I can pick Liberty. So I've got to go with New Mexico State.
Those are Lobos, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, they're the Aggies. New
That's right.
Mexico
New
is the
Mexico
Lobos.
is the Lobos. Yeah.
That's why we call them the Agbos.
Agbos.
Can't
Yeah.
tell them apart.
But the Campbell Camels gave him a fit in the first half last
Yes, they
week.
did.
Yeah.
41-24 for a final score. Not what you thought would happen.
No. Oh, I forgot. I got to add Campbell to my list of the teams I hate that are orange.
Oh, there you go.
I had forgotten they
the
were
Fighting
orange
Camels,
till just
yeah.
now.
Hold on.
All right.
Break out a quill and some
Robert,
ink.
There you go.
Robert, Adam, and Carrick. Who you got?
I'll take the Flames. I hate the Flames.
I'm going to take Liberty too. Kadon Salter actually looked good last week. He was the one bright spot for Liberty. Looking at New Mexico State's stats, they threw for 60 yards last week. They ran for 210. I don't think that's an offense that's going to score any points on Liberty.
All right. Robert, how about you, brother?
These two teams played last year, and it was a 49-35 game. So I think it's going to be a very exciting game. And I'm just going to quote founding father because I don't want to say this, but give me liberty or give me death.
Give me Liberty.
Oh, wow.
The hell you said. That wasn't Nathan Hale, wasn't it?
No.
No, Patrick Henry.
Patrick
Yeah,
Henry.
Patrick Henry. My bad. Yeah. All right. Louisiana State, the last game, plus 15.5.
Louisiana
It
State.
is Louisiana.
I mean, Louisiana. And
It'd
it's
be
minus-
great if Louisiana State
No,
came
it
to.
would not be. Not for this game. I
And
didn't
it's minus 15.5.
Oh, my gosh.
Louisiana is favored by 15
Yeah,
and a
Larry.
half.
Another Larry error. Had a Louisiana.
No, it's
Yeah, they're plus 15.
It's just you need my glasses?
No.
Yeah.
He has Louisiana
Louisi-
plus 15.5.
Yeah, Louisiana is
Favored by 15.
Yeah,
favored.
it should be Louisiana minus 15.5.
Correct.
That's okay.
Yeah.
I don't.
Hey, does it
But it
matter?
doesn't
We're all
say
taking
state.
the dang owls.
It doesn't say Louisiana State. That was yours.
No, I was look here. Yeah. Louisiana minus 15.5.
I'll take the
At Kennesaw
15 and a
State.
half as we pound them into submission. Here comes numero uno. Got to start with one FBS win before you can get two.
Hey, okay, go ahead.
I'm going to be bold. Owls without the points.
There you go. That's what
Yeah,
I'm
I
saying.
like that.
That's our win. That's our first dub.
I'm gonna pull a Kirk Herbstreit and not pick this game because I'm calling it.
Didn't you already do this once?
He did.
Yes.
He did. But in
Goodness.
case you weren't listening the first time, he
Yeah, Sparkles
Sprinkles
already
It was the
wanted you
wrong
to
game.
say
Supposed
that.
to be a homer, all right?
I'm pulling a Kirk Herbstreit.
All right.
Okay, Sprinkles.
Yeah.
All right. So after last week, I think the keys to this are, after last year, I should say, and us having such trouble making field goals last year, and this week we didn't miss a single one. I think field goals will make a difference. We're covering. We may outright win. I'm not going to call that, but we're definitely covering on the points.
We're close.
All right. So Will's KSU, and
Surprise.
and ATI is a.
He's
a
no-
wussy answer.
He's a sprinkle.
It's an NA.
No, I got
Not
you down.
applicable.
I got you down as a sprinkle. So
I didn't mean to do that. I really didn't.
sparkles, sprinkles. What does it matter? You know.
It's all close. It's all close.
Oh gosh. Well, we're up against the clock, guys. What a great show. Thank you, Gatlin Hancock, for being on. I know Gatlin's gone, but he was a great guest, and we want to have many more visits with Gatlin in the future. Carrick, thank you for the information on the 40 by 40 under 40 club, and thank you both for recapping what was a great weekend for the Owl Nation out in San Antonio, and we look forward to many, many more. Number one, kickoff at 7 o'clock Saturday night. Tailgate in the black lot starts at 2.
Long before 2 o'clock.
Long before 2.
I'll be there about 12:30. I got something I got to be at.
Stop
from
in
10 to
for
12,
some
but
video
I'll be there for
games,
that.
some food, some camaraderie.
Yeah.
Just look for the big. Just so you know,
What is the menu?
it's a low country boil.
Low Country Boil.
So it's our version of the boil. I mean, it's not the Cajun version. It's our version, but it's okay.
Yeah.
And
We're boiling them, so
yeah,
it's
and,
okay.
if you can't find us, just look for the big yellow man. There'll be a 20-foot waving like those things at the used car lots.
Vertitude. Yeah.
Yeah, there'll be one of those there.
Wacky,
right.
wavy, inflatable arm flailing tube man.
Yeah.
All right. So, guys, thanks for everybody. Robert, great show. Carrick, Will, thanks for always. ATI, Larry, the engineer, thanks for your services tonight. We look forward to seeing you next Wednesday night. We report at KSUW.
First FBS winning.
First FBS win. Until then, give me one more. Hootie hoo! That was a fun show.